about to begin. The banners rise, the crowd draws near, a realm of battle soon appears. Scars of honor, tales to tell, of kingdoms rise and kingdoms fell. The night is young, the ale is strong, we'll sing this song, it won't be long. Grab your seats, let's dive right in, the stream is about to begin. Follow, follow, follow Armegon. The stream is life, come everyone. Stars of honor where legends spin. Follow Armegon, the stream begins. Heroes gather, ages cast. Moments fade, but memories lost. The battles rage, the kingdoms cry. The story lives, it will not die. The time has come, so gather near. Raise your voices, let's make it clear. The call is strong, let games begin. The stream is about to begin. Now heroes, take your place. Adventure calls in this grand space. Stay and watch, don't wander away. The stream begins, it starts today. Follow, follow, follow Armegon. The stream is life, come everyone. Stars of honor where legends spin. Follow Armegon, the stream begins. Hear ye, the fire is lit, the stage is set, a tale unfolds you won't forget. Stay a while, brave souls and kin, the stream is about to begin. The banners rise, the crowd draws near, a realm of battle soon appears. Scars of honor, tales to tell, of kingdoms rise and kingdoms fell. The night is young, the ale is strong, we'll sing this song, it won't be long. Grab your seats, let's dive right in, the stream is about to begin. Follow, follow, follow Armegon. The stream is life, come everyone. Stars of honor where legends spin. Follow Armegon, the stream begins. Heroes gather, ages cast. Moments fade, but memories lost. The battles rage, the kingdoms cry. The story lives, it will not die. The time has come, so gather near. Raise your voices, let's make it clear. The call is strong, let games begin. The stream is about to begin. Now heroes, take your place. Adventure calls in this grand space. Stay and watch, don't wander away. The The stream begins, it starts today. Hear ye, the fire is lit, the stage is set, a tale unfolds you won't forget. Stay a while, brave souls, and keep the stream is about to begin. The banners rise, the crowd draws near, a realm of battle soon appears. Scars of honor, tales to tell, of kingdoms rise and kingdoms fell. The night is young, the ale is strong, we'll sing this song, it won't be long. Grab your seats, let's dive right in, the stream is about to begin. Follow, follow, follow Armegon. The stream is life, come everyone. Stars of honor where legends spin. Follow Armegon, the stream begins. Heroes gather, ages cast. Moments fade, but memories lost. The battles rage, the kingdoms cry. The story lives, it will not die. The time has come, so gather near. Raise your voices, let's make it clear. The call is strong, let games begin. The stream is about to begin. Now heroes, take your place. Adventure calls in this grand space. Stay and watch, don't wander away. The stream begins, it starts today. Hear ye, hear ye, the fire is lit, the stage is set, a tale unfolds you won't forget.
Hello everyone. Let me just check one thing. Yes, audio is good. We are good. It's Sunday. Let me just reduce it a little bit, probably like that. So guys, it's Sunday. How are you doing? It is time to sit down together again and just speak about our beloved game, Scars of Honor. Today I have special guest on our stream, which I will unveil in a little bit, because before I do that, I think we need to discuss several important things. First, I have a message that I need to explain to you guys that is coming directly from the marketing team, and it's important for you to hear. It's about the playtest. It's about the playtest, and guys, we have released message saying that very soon we will unveil the public date of the test. What I can say to this is in the next few days, me, the art director and the lead of game design, the game design director, will sit down and appoint the exact date of the test. So guys, you expect some really, really cool news very, very, very soon. It's important. When we say playtest, I want you to understand what this playtest means, guys. The playtest is free for everyone. It's free for absolutely everyone. And it is important to understand that on this playtest, we are making a technical playtest. You're not going to see a full game which has absolutely everything, the full content or anything like that. Voice? You hear me well or not? Okay, let me just... Okay. Now it should be fine. Now the volume should be fine. Great. So guys, the test is a technical test. You will come and help us understand first crash rates of the game. Second, we will give you access to all of the systems that we want to have in the game, but we will also take a feedback from you. We will try to understand, for example, is the dungeon cool enough? Is it big enough? Do we want to make it smaller? Do we need to plug more systems? Do you actually enjoy what you're seeing? So it's super important to know that the playtest is not showcasing a final product. You are helping us understand the stability of the client and the server, and also to receive feedback from the systems that we have implemented. I said it, and I'll repeat it again. It will be free for all. So guys, this is my first topic. Second is Scars of Honor is growing. Scars of Honor is growing very rapidly, and we are in need of you guys. We are in need of you, and we need moderators. We need moderators in Discord. So guys, if you can, just apply for a moderator role in Discord. Anyone who is interested in that, let me know. Write in Discord so we can see you and you can help us. Speaking about community, I will say this. Making a new MMORPG is always about the community. Making a new game is not just going there and I will join Scars of Honor or whatever new game is created. You're not joining it because of the game. Half of it is just the game, but the other half is the community, guys. And I believe we are building something really, really cool together. The community that we are creating right now, it's just outstanding. This is definitely my dream come true when it comes to the best possible community. And you guys rock. And I will show you right now why. One second. So I'll come in here and you can say hello. You can say hello to our art director, Rasmus Hansen. Hello, Rasmus. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So,
can you see me?
Yes, everything is good. How are you doing? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here in Scars of Honor?
Oh my God. Yeah, a little bit about me. Well, I've worked in games for about, 20 years now. I think you put it on Discord, and I was actually surprised that it's been 20 years. So, in that time, I've worked on a lot of different genres of games, everything from like kids games to sports games to MMOs to like a ton of other stuff. And basically, I've been here with Scars of Honor since May last year. And then, we started talking together and the project sounded super interesting. And it's like, okay, well, how can I help if needed with this project? And, I have developed an MMO before. I worked on RuneScape back in the early times of that. That's where I started my career.
Rasmus, we have one cool question that is coming from the community. They are asking, what do you think about the AI intro that I did at the beginning of the stream? How much of AI we use in art in Scars of Honor? Let's start with the spooky question.
No, we don't use it in production. We tested it a while back for some icon stuff, but we're not using it in production. It is handcrafted. It is a concept artist sitting and working day in and working day out to get the most interesting designs for everybody.
So Rasmus, before we dive in deeply into the art, I want to highlight, and I'm showing here on the screen, something that you guys did. And I'm super happy, honestly, and I'm super humbled about what you guys achieved. So here on my screen right now, you're seeing something that was created by the community, SOH Builds, which is a new website that demonstrates the vast capabilities of the talent system of Scars of Honor. And I'm super thankful to you guys of what you have made in here, and I will support these things 100%. Big bravo to you guys who just decided to do this awesome project. It looks just flawless. It's so good. Thank you for doing this, guys. And without further ado, I will give the word to our amazing guest, Mr. Rasmus, because he have prepared some really cool stuff, guys. Today you're going to see some really cool stuff that Mr. Rasmus and the team have prepared. And all of your questions will be answered end of the stream, where, let's take a moment, Rasmus will lead us to see some really cool things in Scars of Honor, some very beautiful scenery in Scars of Honor. So let's give the word to Rasmus and let's switch to the presentation which you have prepared for us. Okay? So where do we start, Rasmus? Where do we start?
Well, I think we start at the beginning, and that is maybe not quite at the beginning, but you know, I think we started May last year when I came in, and basically, you know, I spoke with Arbo, I spoke with you and everybody else, and it was like, you know, where are we? Where does everyone want to go? So I basically tried to have a look, like a holistic look at the game as a whole, to see like, okay, visually, you know, where we're at. And I think, you know, for me, the style was a little bit inconsistent. You know, it did carry the signs of being like a battle scarred and, you know, multiple development cycles and like different ideas coming into the game. So for me, I put in here, I don't know if it's tracking on screen, but especially, well, for example, the characters were like a very big thing to me. Because I think even within the human male and human female, they kind of look like two different styles.
Can I stop you for a moment, Rasmus? Can I stop you for a moment? Guys, it's very important to understand that what you're seeing right now here on the screen, what Rasmus is showcasing, are what he has found when he joined the team. These are not the current characters. These are not the current characters. So he's showcasing you the old one for you to have something that you can see how we translate. So Rasmus, take on.
Yeah, very true. So, so these are the old ones. So I think, you know, when you're looking at the lineup overall, and even when you're looking within genders of the same race, it just felt a little bit all over the place. You know, I think the ideas were good. I read the lore behind it and the whole setup of the world, backgrounds of the races, and I think that was super interesting. But it just felt a little bit kind of inconsistent and a little bit dated. I think retro is cool, and you know, we still want some of that for sure. But it just felt like also technically a little bit dated in some of these things. And then we had some issues with like, for example, anatomy. I know they're not going to be running around in the underwear all the time, right? But you know, if you're looking at the anatomy, like this guy's got no hips, you know, and a neck that thing can kind of break. You know, there's all these kind of things where like, well, it's not quite what it should be, right? So that's a big thing for me. And then also normally when you develop a style like this, you have some sort of proportions that carry through the characters across everything, right? You have some like a way of defining muscles, you have a way of defining, you know, well, muscle tone, just general proportionality within the faces, within the bodies. And I think, you know, if we're looking at across it, that wasn't really there. So for me, that was quite a big thing. And then also, again, like I looked at these the old undeads, where I was like, okay, well, the background story is also interesting, and it's like a different take on them from what we've heard before and what the standard is. I like this idea of some prosthetics and stuff going on. You know, it's pretty cool, but I thought the execution of it just kind of lacked a little bit. And I think, you know, players today just expect more visual, not fidelity, but more visual kind of polish than what this was. We also, oops, I got a little bit more here. So the same thing for this guy. I mean, like, you know, maybe it's a bit default, but, you know, heroic proportions generally aren't like this, right? So I think I had a look at through some of the stuff that the concept team had actually produced, and then I saw the guy in the bottom left-hand corner, and I was like, okay, well, so there's definitely skill within the concept team, but at some point, maybe we made a call for some technical reason or whatever the reason might be, but this guy just doesn't really feel like a hero. I know it says NPC up here, but this guy was like the default human model, right? So pretty long arms for a person, pretty short legs. So proportions were just a little bit kind of funky. And I mean, you know, you can style your game in that way and say, well, then everybody's going to have short legs and long arms, but generally that's not the style you sort of pick to go with.
Great. I really
and
love.
you know, when it came to some of the sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
When it came to some of the character models, also, you know, there's a little bit of lack of anatomy in some places, and also, you know, his knees would break when you run around and stuff, right? So, you know, smaller stuff, and also just again general proportion. I didn't think worked that well.
Can you explain us what are we seeing here on the screen? Because this is a little bit the technical side of the art, if we can say it that way, and how important is that?
Well, that is super important, right? Because this is kind of what you put all the details on top of. So this is kind of like the base mesh, the sort of low poly mesh that goes into the game. So normally you would do like a high poly mesh with those details and everything else on it. And then you do like a sort of more optimized version of it, so your PC doesn't blow up when you're playing the game. You know, and this is how it looked like back then. There's also something about like, so anatomy on this one also was a little bit funky, right? So we needed to change that. And I think when you go with a low poly model like this, then generally you use that as a base for all human males. Right. So if you kind of mess this first one up a little bit, then that just sticks with everything else that goes after it. Right. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, you know, to see it. And then you have like a sunk cost fallacy. It's like, okay, what is it actually going to cost us to fix this in terms of time and headaches and everything else? But, you know, credit to you and, you know, Alex also, where we said, okay, we need to fix these things. It will take some time, but we need to fix it. So yeah. Also, you've probably seen these things a million times, but you know there were like some human architecture in there. There's some undead architecture in there that, again, had loads of research done, loads of pre-production, loads of ideas and stuff. But with this one, there's actually more the texturing style for me that kind of broke the camel's back, so to say, right? It was like, it's kind of full on 100% bricks, for example, right? And then, you know, other things in the game were like full on 100% grass and full on 100% dirt. And then, you know, when you ran like 100% everything, right? So,
yeah.
But when you then run into the game, it just becomes quite overwhelming, right? So it's like, okay, everything is quite noisy. When you run around, all you're seeing is like bricks shouting at you and grass in your eyes and like these long arms on the character, right? And you're like, what? Like, so there's some things here where it's also like the team was good, but I think it was because a lot of these things actually were like tests, got into game, then another test was done, you know, a lot of like rapid testing, and then all of a sudden you have like, you know, you have multiple different styles, and then you have to pick one, right? It's like you can't have like 8 different styles in the game because then it's just going to look a little bit kind of funky. And then that was basically me on on the second day. But you know, fortunately,
This is the first message which Rasmus said when he joined the company. He saw it and he said, "We need to change everything."
Yeah, I think that's the thing is, as I said, I think there were loads of good ideas, still are, interesting takes and stuff. So the thing I'm going to go through now is actually more just showing that I think that we're keeping the sort of essence of those ideas, but we're just executing on it differently, right? So we don't want to be the game that has the style of long arms, short legs. That should not be the sort of the thing that makes us stand out, really. So I mean that was the first thing. I will actually just quickly this is some old work also. I'll just quickly show it, and I'm showing it with the Lego bricks up here. Basically, because a lot of this work that was done in the past still works. I think a lot of this again just needs to be pushed a little bit on execution level, not on a sort of design level. I think it's interesting. It's a different take on undeads, and we already have a lot of assets here where we just need like minor adjustments to make it fit what we're doing with the characters and everything else now. So we're not throwing everything away. We're not gonna lose all the stuff that people have loved so far. Same thing for some of the human architectural style, where we also think, well, do you know what? There's some pretty cool ideas in here. It's kind of scalable. It feels very different from the undead, so we wanna keep that. So just a note on that. Okay. Well, okay. So the new art direction for us was to try and
the new characters. Now, chat, tell me, can you zoom a little bit up, because I think here we are starting to see the new characters. And chat, do you see the difference before we give the word to Rasmus, to see the difference that was applied? You see currently the new characters and how they look. You can definitely compare with the past. Now, we really want to hear you in the chat. Do you like what you're seeing? And are we giving a big round of applause for Mr. Rasmus and the team? Great. By the way, I have stopped the sounds of the applause. Thank you all for doing that, because if we do this, we'll blow up the audio. We're not professional streamers, me and Rasmus. So when I'm in conversation, these are turned off. But the chat is enjoying what they're seeing, Rasmus. So let's continue with why we went this route and what are the different takes, so you can explain why these are better.
Yeah, I'll go through a little bit more. So basically, so I scrolled down a little bit too fast here, but basically what we did was we kind of zoomed out a little bit, right? And we looked at the lore, we looked at the thematic of the game, we looked at the target audience, and also what technology was available to us, right? Because sometimes you can choose to do something which the engine you're working with just doesn't want to do, and then it is a constant uphill struggle. So we said, okay, what do we know Unity, which is the engine we're using, can actually do for us? And then we use that in the back of our minds also. And then also we tried to, establish like consistent rules which can apply to the game as a whole, both to buildings and to characters and to armors and to NPCs and everything else. We had a lot of talk about like why is this important to us. Like, for example, what I said before with like texture density and noise levels on the shouting bricks and shouting grass kind of thing, right? That they're not the important things in this game, right? You don't play an MMO to look at the grass. Like, you want to see your character clearly, you want to see your armor clearly, you want to see your spells and VFX clearly, which I know is a thing we're working on at the moment to balance that out. So we went through all that. And also, then we started developing some rules. And some of these, I mean, like a style guide is like a living document, or multiple documents in our cases, right? Because, within concept art, you have some rules for some of these elements. Within 3D modeling, you have some rules on how you sculpt things, poly limits, all that kind of stuff, how you texture things. So it becomes a little bit technical also. And also for animation, you have your own set of rules you got to follow, animation blend systems you have to set up. And same thing for VFX and also UI. I think the thing we have now, though, is that we use the characters as a sort of jumping off point. And we said, so now we're actually happy about the way we style these. We feel it's modern, but it's still got a bit of a retro feel to it. So we want to actually build the game around the characters now. So we want to go characters and then out. And that is pretty much the thing that we're doing at the moment, right? So, so yeah, I had to show the difference between like an old asset there and like a new asset. I think there's a bit of a difference.
There is a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
And then you have the inner piece.
The reason I put in Frankenstein multiple places is that we are in this sort of transition period still, right? Because we got like hundreds and hundreds of assets, and it would be nice if we could sort of snap our fingers and then these changes are implemented on everything. But that's not how it works. It's just physically impossible for us. So there will be some places in the game, also maybe even in April, where you see like one old asset that's sort of slipped, sort of the different passes that we're doing. So somebody messing with my light here, 1 second.
By the way, Rasmus, the chat is asking your take on basically how do you what do you prefer, a game where visually you can create these mixture between, let's say, shoulders from one set then shoulder from another. You have you call this Frankenstein because it's assembled from different stuff, but it's important for the gameplay. So artistically, are you happy with the fact that we are allowing the players to express themselves in that way, or you're worried that they can create a Frankenstein of art?
Well, the thing is, we're making like a game for the players and not for my personal pleasure, right? So I think a quick anecdote from the old RuneScape times, where there's also at some point like discussions whether we want to set like the palette completely free for players to choose. And initially a lot of artists was like, no, you gotta have like a split between primary and secondary and accent colors, so if we can control it, we can give you a nice palette. We know you will look nice as a set, but the thing is obviously that I remember this is like a long time ago, but the point that was made was, well, it is about self-expression, right? If you want to look like, I don't know, like a peacock running around and it's possible, well, then you should be able to do that. Yeah. Right. I think so I had to swallow that camel many years ago, even though I would like to keep everything nice and sort of tight when it comes to palettes and everything, right? So, but it is a game for the players. It is not a game for me personally. Well, also, but just a sort of quick note. Well, Yoda is up here a little bit too early, but basically, so how do we get this whole consistent look to things, right? It's the whole team and Tim I've written up here, but working together to sort of figure out how we achieve this. There's a lot of people in the different teams, and there's a lot of collaboration happening. So it's not just me sitting in some like ivory tower and then decreeing that this is the thing that we're doing. Because one thing is to have an idea, right? But then you have like, 50, 60 people who have to execute on that idea. So sometimes, you have to take, this would be so nice, and it would take 15 years to do, and it's technically impossible.
And the fun fact is, that with art, if it takes 15 years to be done, the moment when it's done, you need to redo it because it's old.
Exactly right. So I think basically it's a big team effort that goes across all the art teams, right? It's so they're also, whenever we have a concept, sometimes there's some artistic interpretation that has to happen from the concept into like 3D. And that's also why we have to have loads of guidelines. This is just like a couple of snippets from one of the many guidelines, right? But basically, we're kind of establishing like a way of texturing and setting up rules for how do we texture everything all together. So whenever we have like an NPC, or if you have like a character or anything like that, we kind of know how to layer stuff. What look is it that we want to have? And then also some, do's and don'ts kind of thing, right? It's like, well, if it looks like this, you've roughness map in this case.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you explain us a little bit about the do's and don'ts? Like what you don't like in the don'ts and what you see on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, in this one, it's pretty much just like a roughness map. So it depends how much, how shiny like an element is. And what we're doing now is we're using something that's called PBR shading. So that means we are simulating real materials. Even though it's a stylized game, we don't want to go away from that. But we want metal to look like metal, for example. This is the thing that kind of defines what is shiny, what is not. And if the value difference, the difference between light and dark, is not big enough, on the left-hand side, it doesn't fit within the game.
It's
right?
not popping
so we have
enough.
Yeah, right. So we have to sort of make sure that is how it works.
Okay.
So basically, we're looking into developing visual systems. So, for example, this is like a domination guard, and then when we have that system set up, well, then we can quickly edit it and sort of apply it and sort of recolor it, change the material, change the palette and change everything, and it still sits within the same style.
Rasmus, can I stop you here?
Yeah.
Because here I think I believe we have a very important question. I have seen a lot of questions and like thoughts from the community saying that because Cards of Honor is free to play and no pay to win, where we are going to emphasize heavily just on cosmetics, a lot of people expressed concern that, okay, because they are going to make their money from cosmetics, that means the WoW level armor will look bad and I'll have to pay in order to look good. But you remember very well the discussion me and you we had. I was like, Rasmus, I'm afraid we're doing exactly the opposite. You're doing too great of a job for an entry-level armor, and I'm afraid what you have to do in the cosmetic shop so that we make some amount of money. So, guys, Rasmus is on your side. Rasmus is on your side.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's such a difficult balance, right? Because you also want it to have like some aspirational progression, right? I think if it looks too cool, like where do you go then? Right? You start off being blinged out completely, right? You're pure gold in your sort of first armor, and it's like it doesn't work. So sometimes we do dim it down a little bit, but it is not to like a sort of crazy crappy level, because that's just that would just be a shame, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think here just some sort of NPC clothing, not for the player, but again you can see here we go much more simple, right? So I actually don't think this one has got the metals and everything on, but we go much more simple. But again, the style and consistency carries across.
I think you guys did a great job there. I definitely can see the lift up in the quality in general, how these things used to look like. For a second, I would like to go back to the old character models, because I think that way it will be easier for the people watching the stream right now to understand. These are the current ones. Let me find where were the old ones, because that way. Oh, let me go back to you. Okay. So, yeah, these are the concepts of the old. So you guys can definitely see the transition that Mr. Rasmus and the team have made. These are the old models. So you can definitely see the progression there before we move on further.
Frankenstein's looking scary still.
Frankenstein, your favorite character.
Yeah, it's just like, game development, especially on a big thing like this, there will be Frankenstein. There will always be something you want to change, right? Stuff you learn as you go and all that. So,
yep.
Yeah, there are some questions whether, like, why we're kind of stylized, right? I mean, we still want to stay in that vein. One of the changes we have done, which you can see in this armor up here, is that we've gone away from being like a diffuse only texture. So it's not only hand painted. We have like actual materials now, and lighting is doing some of that heavy lifting for us. Where before you had to paint it in, you had to paint in the lighting pretty much. And the thing we found was it is super difficult to keep consistent over like a large team, and also different seniority levels. It's quite difficult to keep it going. So we went with this. We have had like a dedicated small strike team to work on this and come up with like a way within Substance Painter, which is basically where we give colors and textures to the characters to do something that can automate quite a bit of this for us. So we have like the same principles applied on all this, and then we do a bit of hand painting on top, just to kind of put the cherry on top for people, right? We don't want to lose that touch completely, but that is where we are. So yeah, so basically, again, stylized, as I say, we just think it would be too big to change away from being stylized at this point, coming in May last year. I was like, I want to make a realistic game.
Yeah.
Right? Realistic looking.
The chat is asking exactly that. Why would you choose stylized graphics instead of realism?
Yeah, it just gives you much more room to play with stuff, right? I mean, I think when you go realistic, it's like, all of a sudden the focus shifts, right? So it becomes more about, can I see the skin pores of the character, and can I see the sweat running down the forehead when they're out of breath or whatever, right? And I think for me, that is not as interesting as having more interesting designs of like a massive goblin running around where he doesn't have to be human sized, right? You can go crazy, or like an ogre or troll or whatever you want to. It just gives much more room to play. And I think the genre of this game also just requires that. I think it would be super dull if we kept it realistic. Yeah. So for me, it was the right thing to do. As I said, we reproportioned the characters, and also we can do that with all the NPCs, bosses, and so on, which gives us just an interesting room to play in. This one is actually just a little bit of a sort of show on the level of detail that these characters have got in their texture work. This is the team, that little strike team, developing like a way of doing it where we're automating a lot of this, but then hand painting on top. And this is pretty much where we are now. So we've gone through with the characters and the armors, and now what we want to do is pretty much to take these guys, the kind of ones that shout brick, and then we want to add the principles that we are using on this guy, and those principles came from the characters also. And then we want to add some rules, right? Because rules give consistency. And then overall, like that is where we're currently at with the environment. So, when you see, when you're running around the game and showing it off, that is also why there's some work in progress stuff. Some stuff is not completely done. You're like, oh, that bush looks terrible. Or that screaming bricks, that thing, right?
The chat is saying, finally some actual fantasy landscapes. I think they've seen what you have prepared for them a little bit below. And I think the chat is eager to see... I think the chat is eager to see what you have prepared below.
Well, I think this was actually one of the other things. So this is from an upcoming zone. And the main thing with this really is more that we want more fantastical elements in the game, right? I think it's been played a little bit safe before, where you have like a big building and a smaller building and a big tree and a smaller tree. And when I was talking with the concept team and, talking about the law and everything, we're like, okay, well, let's go crazy on some of these things, right? Like, let's do something where you walk around a corner and you have a reveal of like something that feels more epic, rather than just another forest or like another house that looks the same, right? And I think generally, it's something I actually put a little bit further down here. So we want to push the contrast in the world, which is basically between normal and magical, right? So you can feel that there's a difference. Maybe you run around in the field, which is totally boring and sort of field-like. And then you run into this forest, but it's not a normal forest. It's like a magical forest. There's like wisps flying around. You feel that there's magic there, right? So we want to have some of those contrasts.
Rasmus, sorry to stop you, but I think the chat are just not happy because you're giving them hope. You're giving them hope.
I should have thought about that.
You should have thought about this.
Yeah. But yeah, just mute me if I'm giving too much hope and okay. Well, so then is basically we want more contrast both between normal and magical. Also, when you walk around open and closed environments, right? So it's like, do I feel like I'm in a sort of covered in like a forest kind of thing? Am I in like a super open space? Is it like a tight place I'm running around in, or is it like a massive thing, right? Or do you have something really tall and something really deep? Where I think also so far a lot of it has been kind of like Denmark, flat or medium height.
Rasmus is from Denmark, so kudos to everyone from Denmark. It's a lovely country. Don't listen to Rasmus.
Just insulted the whole country, but I'm living here. So, well, we know it's flat though, so it's all good. So basically, we're trying to develop these visual systems for the environment now. We're also kind of pushing stuff the same way we did with the characters and the armors. We want to create like a believable world with a wide range of moods and full of history, right? So when you walk around it, you feel that something happened there. Again, so it's not just a house, but there's a house with some props outside. You can see something happened. You get an idea of who lives here. Like if you have like one of those sort of windmills, then you have like somebody who's got like a wheat field next to it, then somebody is doing something with it. It's not just randomly plopped down. And that's something that we want to push. And I think the level art guys and level design have done a great job on that, which is something that I think players are going to be able to feel when they walk around. They also crafted some more experiences. So where, for example, you walk through this little cave thing and then there's a hole in the cave and you see some greenery coming down, and then you're looking out, you can see, there's a hole to the outside, and you walk out, and then there's a vista shot of like a sort of a big zone kind of thing, right? So those things I felt that we were missing before, but the guys are doing a great job kind of putting that in. We want the style to support the gameplay, and this goes back to what I said before, right? Where we can't have bricks shouting bricks and grass shouting grass and mud shouting mud, when the thing that's really important is actually, am I getting destroyed by an enemy right now?
Let me stop you. By the way, I was playing the game a little bit before we start the stream, and I was going in one field, and there was like a hidden tons of spiders there. They were like spitting a lot of stuff on me. So I was like, maybe we shouldn't go later with Rasmus in this place because they will destroy us. We need to speak with game designers to reduce them a bit. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so for me, it's just the readability of things. I think that's the thing where talk about it a little bit also when it comes to like, the saturation levels of the world. I know that's people's favorite subject. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But we need to be able to see, especially VFX, see that whenever you mark an enemy, so your gameplay comes before everything else. And then another thing we wanted to do was to create a customization system, as you said, which can also facilitate player self-expression in the game, right? So we want to be able to have a flexible customization system. I mean, when it comes to characters, we're not going to have sliders for like the width between your eyes and like the heights of your eyebrows and stuff. I think sometimes that's a little bit overdone, and in our case, I think it is. But there will be some, facial customization, and then, beard and hair and stuff like that. So, and basically, this is what, this is like just one of my favorite references from a.
This is a
comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a comic. And the thing I love about this is that everything looks like it's in the same universe because of the styling of it, but you can clearly identify the differences of the races. And, I don't think anybody thinks the top ones are the nice ones, right? So So this is a kind of clarity that would be super nice to have between different races, and to say like, okay, well, like they're pretty distinct within the design language, and it means something, right? Whenever you have a design element, it actually means something. A tiny little boring bit of text at the bottom here, but basically where we are now is that as has been brought up in some of these streams, we're not happy about our lighting and the lighting system. That really is a thing that is not working for us, but we've got a bunch of tech artists working on this so we can get a better and more control over what we're doing. Also, a skybox is a big thing we've discussed for quite a bit. I mean, there is a sky in the game right now, but we would like a bit more control because it's such a big part of the screen when you're running around. And also, it would add saturation potentially to the whole thing, which would give like a more balanced screen.
But that's important. That's important. That's important because me, you, and everyone in the team, we are open for where we need to do better stuff. And you can see, guys, that Rasmus is really on top of that. He's really a person who is on the first place to see, hey, are these things matching? Can we do something better? And we are not here pretending that tech is the best, the game is the best, art is the best. None of that. We know that we can definitely improve on many places. We have improved, and you have seen it previously. We demonstrated the improvements. So I'm sure Rasmus is cooking a lot of good stuff for you guys.
Yep, for sure. I mean, that we really are kind of pushing hard. I mean, we have some, whenever you choose your technology you work within, so whether it being Unity or Unreal, like each has got like advantages and disadvantages. And some of the things here, the lighting in particular is a thing within within Unity that needs a bit of love and care. We can't get full global illumination like you get within Unreal, like straight out of the box, unfortunately. So basically, let me see. I actually just wanted to show a little bit just on the all kind of tying into the sort of epic scale also. So we're going to be working on like a dwarven zone. Or not a full dwarven zone, but there's going to be some dwarven kind of buildings and architecture in here. So you've already seen the undead architecture, you've seen the human architecture, and now we're diving into this. And I think the team did a great job on this, right? So I don't know what you would call it in our game. Instead of Mount Rushmore, you would call it Mount something. So, I think walking into this, seeing this from a distance also would just be like an epic thing. And when it comes to this architecture, I mean, I think it is very kind of dwarven-like. We talked about it has to be dense, it has to be solid, it has to be, handcrafted, it has to look like it can go deep inside a mountain without collapsing. And I think the team did a great job on this. And it's also just so we can kind of theme the zone as you walk around in it, right? So you see like little kind of dwarven elements, they stick out from the environment, you could recognize them. And we have this kind of face, which is kind of recurring thing, which I think is quite fun, as you walk around. And
oh my god, there is a face. Indeed, inside, chat, take a look. Indeed, inside there is a face. That's really cool. Yeah. That's really cool. Chad, what do you think about this idea? Do you like the take which Rasmus and the team is doing, especially with the dwarven architecture? Rasmus, is this a hand that we are seeing on the right side?
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool.
Yep.
I love it. And I think the chat loves it as well. So kudos for making this take.
Yeah, I think the concept team are really doing a good job on this, and they're really kind of trying to push it to be something which is has got like, again, we talk about retro and recognizability of something as a dwarf. How many drawings of dwarves and dwarven architecture can you find around? You're trying to find something and give it a little bit of a spin, right? I mean, that is what I think the team has done really well. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more stuff here,
let me follow you.
I'll zoom out a little bit so I can get my bearings, because it's a pretty big
Of course.
mirror thing. Yeah, so
that's
just a little bit more like I don't know if the chat is interested in this, but basically whenever you get a concept like this, as I said before, like one thing is to get a concept, and then you have a bunch of environment artists who's like, how am I gonna make this?
Then the problem starts.
Yeah, and you know, you have level artists also, who pretty much, they're basically the ones who kind of dress up the world. So environment artists here are building the pieces, and then level art are the ones assembling it, so it ends up looking like this. Sometimes they help each other also, but generally that's how it is. So then there's this more practical side of it, where it's like, okay, so how do we break this down so we don't build one big unique piece that can be used one place only forever? Or how do you actually break it into these smaller shapes and forms so we can potentially use it and then kit bash, basically put it together in other ways, and also, you know, just have it much more flexible for use in other areas of the game. Maybe, you know, at some point you can have like a dwarven themed dungeon, for example, right? Because we have a kit. No promises.
No promises. Maybe Rasmus just unveiled something. Maybe.
Oh man. Oh my god. So yeah, but you know, so basically there's a whole heap of, you know, even doing the concepts and stuff is very kind of free. The guys know some of the limitations, but there's this kind of practical layer before it comes to the actual environment artists, right? So okay, I'll zoom out a little bit so I can see where I'm going. So I don't really want to go through a lot of these. Like, these are some of the older concepts that were also already done, which I think stylistically is fitting with what we're doing. Same thing here, you know, you have like a little fishing village and market kind of themes that we can kind of go through. That is also props that will work with what we're doing at the moment. Oh well, oh my god, I'm kind of...
Is it lagging?
Yeah, it's
It's
like
too heavy, Miro.
I'm pulling it. Oh my god. It is pretty I was optimistic with the amount of stuff.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, so this is so these are not the models as you see them in the game, but this is basically a screen grabs from inside ZBrush that one of our character artists did, to kind of show, well, now these guys are done, you can see the proportions, you get a sense of the character of each of these. So it's basically just like an overview of the characters as a whole, and then to, you know, we do check as we go along, but do they work as a set? Do they look consistent when it comes to stylization and that? So just a quick overview on that. There was some talk about customization, and I just
nice.
I don't know if maybe
I should play the video.
people have seen. Should I zoom in more?
The video, I should just enable it because I think I should just run it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, basically, there's some different hairstyles. We do have some which both males and females can have, and then also some specific ones for males and specific ones for females. We also have some, you know, beards going on. You can put, you know, you can choose a mustache, you can choose like a side beard, you can choose like a goatee. Also, people with no hair, so we're kind of going the side hair. You can customize yourself if you want that, which is, you know, works for some of the characters, which I think is cool. So I just wanted to show some of that, and then here, if you can,
I enabled the video.
You can tell me if it works.
No, I have to enable it myself, so we're at second 42. If you want, I can return it from the beginning. And
yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Okay, it's from the beginning.
It's basically just to show. So even though we don't want to go super high fidelity and everything, we did have one of our tech artists help us do a shader for hair, so it at least looks a little bit like it's got like some anisotropic shading on it. So when you run around, it has got this kind of feeling of hair. and you can just see some of the different hairstyles and sort of tests. So I mean, some of this, it really is like it is rough, and I'm kind of wondering whether I should have shown it in this, but this is like R&D. This is like in between before it gets into game. Sometimes it's an artist doing like a quick video to say, well, what do you think about this? Other times it's like a tech artist who said like, oh, I've got this cloth simulation going on, so I just wanted to show you. But I thought, just for the sake of showing some work in progress stuff, I thought that that would be that would be good.
Yeah. No, it's definitely showcasing a lot more that is coming in the game, because I've seen comments from the past stream where I wasn't supposed to play in the game, but I played it, and people are like, why do you have so few customizations? And I'm like, guys, I told you, this is in development build, it's not supposed to be shown. But end of the day, we are making a game and we're showing progress constantly, and that also gives us an ability to get feedback. So chat, what do you think about the character customization, the character faces, hairstyles, etc.? What do you like, what you don't like? That's important. Okay.
Yep. We do have some other tests as well with like different ethnicities and all that kind of stuff. That's also coming. I actually didn't get that video, but maybe that's something we can show later, because we can also do that. Okay?
Rasmus, one question from the chat. Do undead still gonna have prosthetics? They love the idea and they're asking, are we still keeping that, or we are dumping the idea?
I like that idea. I still like that idea. It is more like a technical thing, technical conversation I have to have with some of the artists in the team, like what is possible. I think it is possible. We have a super flexible customization system when it comes to armor pieces and that kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure we can make that work. So also, I think that some people are asking, I don't know if it was in Discord chat, maybe, you know, they're like, oh, you know, there used to be these, you know, more details on the Infernal Demons, for example. There used to be this, and it's like, yes, and we've kind of stripped it back as much as possible for the basic model, right? We're like, well, because you have to have armors on top of everything, so you have like spikes at your elbows as a default, then that limits which armors you can actually wear. It sets all kinds of other limits, right? So I'm not saying that some of those details might not be coming back as a customization thing at some point, but we have kind of stripped it back just to get to the base of the races before we add stuff on top of it. So just as
chat, nothing is confirmed. It's possible, but it's not confirmed. By the way, we're in an ad break. We're in an ad break, so we have like 2 minutes. Let's not go and unveil the Baron and Grunter that fast, because imagine people coming after the ad. Oh my god, they reviewed the Grunter and Bear, and now I haven't seen anything. So we have like around 2 minutes more. Let's use the time to hydrate. And I think, Rasmus, you're doing great job, but maybe you lose your voice in like 40 minutes, because it takes a lot, like constantly to stay here to explain these things which you are extremely passionate about. You're extremely passionate about, and it is not that easy to do. Hydrate. Let's hydrate.
Definitely.
We have around 1 more minute. And then, by the way, chat, do you hear the lovely sounds that we have in here? There is a background music. Do you hear it? Let's see. Yeah, good music. Okay, great. This just brings more, like, I've put fantasy thematic music, hopefully no copyright. So it brings more thematic to the art. When we speak about art and music, they go hand in hand. And then we can definitely sit down and enjoy what you have to show us. But I love the progress that you guys have made. The game is just looking completely different. Alex was joking that by the time that he is in the company, this is the third complete different game, because he said when I came in it was one game, then we remade it in 2024, and now we remade it again. So visually it's like 3 stages of the project, and it was definitely a journey.
I think, you know, to me, I think when we get the lighting updated, skybox and the fog, I think that's also even going to feel like quite a big of a leap forward, with not the same amount of work as this.
Great.
Not trying to talk it down, you know, it is still a thing that has to be done, but this has been a significant amount.
We are off the ads, so Rasmus have prepared a lot of cool stuff, and we're ready to continue.
All right, well, I'll just zoom out again to get my bearings. Well, basically, here, I think you guys might have seen like a lot of these designs already, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of how many pieces I actually designed when you see like one armor in the game, or one costume. I think there's like 7 pieces on the character you can kind of swap and change, if I remember correctly. So there's really a lot. And also one of the things is that you can swap between, so if you have like a sort of low level mage or like a high level mage, you can actually have some of these things swap across, and it still works as a kit. So you can, you know, whenever you go and you kind of earn or you craft one of these things, then you can put it on, even though you're low level. Maybe you can get the shoulder pauldrons on for the high level, and you can do that, or the boots or whatever, right? So it's a very flexible system.
Rasmus, a very interesting question coming from the community, and I really want to hear your take. I know technically it's one thing, but are you a fan of a die system which allows the players to change cores, especially when we are speaking about PBR? Would you support this approach, or you have something that troubles you with that?
It's kind of both a yes and a no answer. Very diplomatic. I think like with the old character customization system, I think there was something where you could change the color on some of these things, and the problem was that it was just one color, right? So basically, a lot of the details that had gone into it got overridden by this color change. There might be a way where you can kind of retain a hue difference, because one of the things we're using a lot actually is gradients. If you have like a long piece of cloth, then there's a gradient in it, and often there's like maybe 2 different hues in that gradient, right? So you have something, because it makes everything feel a lot more rich. So if you have like a recolor system that you just put on top, that would make it look flat and sort of empty. So there might be a way of doing that. So I'm not totally against it if we find a technically nice solution to it, but it has to sort of work stylistically also.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a yes and no. It's a yes and no, but I think here what you said. Exactly. Here what you're saying is the fact that we have the gradient system is basically not a place where we can use that. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it is something to kind of potentially investigate on a technical level, but it has to work properly, because I think the thing is, I mentioned it before when it comes to consistency between characters and the world and everything else. So doing something like this would just need proper tech art people on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, again, like as I say, you might have seen some of these guys from other streams. It was just more like to show you how much work the team is actually putting into this. And also when it comes to consistency, you know, hopefully you can see that also when they produce the art on a concept level here, like it is a very consistent approach. We know what things are being switched. We know how many elements are there. So this really is like a massive amount of work for the team. Even to do just like one armor set is a massive, really massive work.
Especially if it's unique set, like from scratch.
Yeah, I think that is the thing, right? So whenever you do it completely unique like this, it is a massive task. But I think one of the things that would be nice to have is also maybe you just get like some special, shoulder pulverins because you achieved something in the game, or maybe you have this kind of special helmet from somewhere that you get, right? So you don't necessarily have to do the full set every time, but you get like special items. We do have these two guys a little bit special, and that is because these guys are supposed to be able to combine with some of the other armors, right? So these are general costumes, and that is why we spend a long time on our customization system and armor system. Right.
Rasmus, a very interesting question, because a lot of these concepts that you have shown, they are already inside the game. If we go right now, many of those we can have inside the game. You also created a lot of variations. A lot of variations currently are done. Can you tell us briefly, like on top of your head, at this specific moment, what do we have currently as an amount of sets, including variations, not just unique ones, and how much of that are you planning for us to have for the upcoming test?
I think off the top of my head, I can't say this in a politician-y way, but I think we got 8 variations of each of these, if I remember correctly.
So all of these multiplied by 8.
Yeah.
Okay,
if
so
I remember correctly, yes.
That's a lot. That's already a lot. So if we count them currently, how many of those can we confirm? The first one is definitely in the game. The second one, the white one, is it?
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 4 with the fifth, 5th, 6 with the heavy. The ranger is 7. The blue one, do we have it?
Yeah.
So 8.
That's it.
That's it.
The other ones are in development right now.
So 8 by 8. Do the math. And then
quite a bit.
When you combine them in between, it just go bonkers. So you can definitely have a lot of customizations in between.
These are the guys we're working on at the moment, these sets. So also they're quite deep in progress already. Then this was just another way of showing all the different pieces and what you can have on or off on a character, right? It is quite a bit, I think. So I just wanted to emphasize that. So we know that armors and all that stuff is a big deal to players, right? So we want to make sure that you have some. It's going to feel different. We have different armors on, so maybe you can choose to run around bare-chested like this guy with just gloves on, if that's what you want or whatever, right? So we wanted to give some options for you to combine it as you see fit.
So you can mix and match a lot of those basically to create your own style and look how you want to express your character.
So these are just NPCs. They're not quite as complicated to do because you don't have to be able to mix and match everything. Some of them might be able to later, no promises, but to be converted into actually being something you can wear. But this would require like another technical pass. There's a lot of pieces that go together, and also because some of those kind of cross matching has to work. There's really a lot of rules that has to be adhered to. So no promises, but some of them potentially could be carried across. Here we have like something where we're like, well, for just NPCs, we have like a Sacred Order guard and a Sacred Order leader. We're like, well, we don't want to redesign everything, right? Because they have to have a uniform, you can recognize it, you can see where they're from. So basically we just redesigned like, the top parts of him and said, well, he doesn't need a helmet. Maybe we can do like a massive helmet on him later, but for now, this is enough. We would rather spend the time on the player kits rather than on an NPC that's standing around.
I love the shoulders of that NPC.
Stuff before, I'll just quickly.
These are a lot of NPC clothing that we are looking right now, right?
All this NPC clothing also is done in 3D, and all of it also has variations. So really, like the world can get pretty full pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like when you walk around or when you stream, you can see sometimes it feels a bit like a ghost town, but all the assets are there, and now we just need to plop an envelope. Okay. I saw the last stream where there was talk of like why the Druid is expensive. So I thought just separately from this, I just wanted to be like, okay, well, I think that's worth talking about. It is super expensive.
The most expensive class.
It is really, and I even think it's going to get more expensive, but I'm not. I don't want to think about that. But basically, the reason is that this guy can transform, right? He can transform into this guy, which is a massive tank Druid form, which also
the community voted.
Yeah, right. Needs to be built, needs to be animated, needs to be rigged, needs to have some VFX applied, needs some sound. So like that's almost like it's not a full player character, but it is a significant amount of work. And then also we wanted to be able to transform into this guy, which is also like a fully new design character and everything else. So I think when Alex talked about it last.
By the way, you just showcased that specific thing for the first time, chat. No, you just showed it. This is the caster form of the Druid, showcased in live. Right now, Rasmus just dropped the bomb. Now, chat, let us know. Do you like what you're seeing on the screen and what the team has done? This is already the 3D. This is the 3D model at your screens. The chat is going crazy. They like it. They like it a lot.
There's one thing that's important to know. So whenever you see anything straight like this, whenever we show models with a straight element like this, that is not how it's going to be in game. It is just a way we pose it, like the arms out to the side. If you have a bit of dangling cloth or something, we pose it straight. Also, if there's a tail, we pose it straight. So we can animate it. I'll put like some physics on it, depending on, on what we want.
Man, I love this. I love this form. I really love it. Can you confirm, is there gonna be some VFX included in this, or it's just gonna be a mission texture or something like this? What are the plans for this model?
I think we're just gonna have some emissive kind of texture on here. I would like to see stuff like leaves and stuff kind of falling off as he's running around. It's a bit of a nice to have. We'll see if we can kind of squeeze stuff in.
Oh my god. And by the way, this is a form that everybody obtains in the game, and this is absolutely for free. So this cool beauty that you guys are seeing right now, this is your default caster form. So to those people that were saying, I'm going to look bad because I'm not paying, take a look. Take a look and thank Rasmus.
Yeah, I think also the team did a great job on this. Also the concept, it was really good from the start. It's very interesting. It's very different from what I've seen before, but I think they kind of turned it around in a good way. Can you see something on the right hand of the screen? Can you see a bee?
Yes, they can. Are we at that stage? Are we dropping the bomb? Are we ready to drop the bomb? With the races?
I can go around it.
Okay, chat. So, I really want you to start spamming Baron and Grunter, because we are about to drop the bomb. Rasmus is about to drop the bomb and show you the Baron and the Grunter models. And soon they have seen something. Okay, Rasmus, go ahead and show us what you have prepared for us for the Baron, how it's gonna look like. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, so here we have you see some of these bits, some of the red bits and some of the green bits are potentially customizable. Red bits are things that can go on and off also. But this would be the base version of the male Baron. He's going to be quite big. A little bit tall. I think he's going to be about 2 meters tall compared to the other ones, which were like, I think humans are 180, so he's going to stand quite a bit taller than them. We would want to push that even bigger, but there are some technical limitations, unfortunately, we have to live within. But
they need to go over doors. They need to enter doors, right?
Yeah, exactly. Need to enter doors. We have done some kind of work in progress on them here on the 3D side. So they're going to be pretty badass.
The
really
3D
looking
model.
forward to seeing them, and also we would want to do like some special animations for them also, right? Because a lot of the other races are very, close to being just humans, with minor adoptions, and this one is more like a different beast, literally. So we will want to do something special for that. And that is also something that our tech artists have actually made available to us now, that we can do some, race-specific animations, which we couldn't really do before in the way we wanted to, but we can do that now. So these guys are incoming. We have the female Baron down here also. There's a little bit with her cheeks here. Look like she's got something on her cheeks, so it's not going to be quite as rounded. But they make a nice couple, these two. So yeah, I hope that people are enjoying those.
People are enjoying this.
Really cool.
Yeah, I can see the chat. Chat, tell us, are you enjoying? Do you like what you're seeing with the 3D? Do you like the Baron model? Are you happy with what you're seeing? And by the way, Rasmus, I really would like to see this, maybe on the next stream or something, where we put some armor on top of it, because the silhouette of the Baron is just, I really would like to see it like a paladin. Imagine a paladin, a big hammer.
Massive.
Man, that's cool. Man, that's cool.
I think that is the thing, just for people to know also, like some of these different races can obviously be the same class. And what we're doing is whenever we have a race like this coming in, there has to be, for example, a paladin, then we kind of reproject the same armor design from the humans onto this guy. So we do it like, some of it is, I'm not going to call automatic because it's not, but it is the same design. Some of it's not automatic, and then we have somebody sitting and just making sure that it fits perfectly.
And looks well.
Yeah, I'm really happy about where this guy ended up. And I think, you can see a little bit that there's some, as I said, there's some artistic interpretation that has to happen between the actual concept and within the world, or within the characters here. But I think the team has done a great job. And this is work in progress, so it is not done. It is still being worked on, but wanted to give you a bit of a sneak preview on it. So,
I think the chat is thankful for that. And they liked what they have seen. So right now you have prepared something from the domination, right?
I don't know. There's something. I don't know what it says in the bottom here.
Let's go and see. No, we shouldn't skip it. Let's go and see what you have prepared there. Oh my god. So this is who Barons will fight, right? This is who Barons will fight.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right, that's it. I think for me, they're also a really cool race. And I think we talked a lot about customization on these guys also, crazy kind of hair, like different kind of tusk designs, different ears, just kind of, but a bit more bulky character, right? Looks like he can bend like a fridge door, this guy, right? So super strong and powerful, and a little bit gross, but not too gross, right?
So
it's been a bit of a balance.
Chat, unleash your oinks.
Yeah.
Really great. Okay.
So this guy, the same thing will happen with this guy. So we have a concept. We are in progress of sculpting him at the moment, and then there will be some, again, artistic interpretation happening, and then maybe it's within one of the next streams. Maybe it's possible to see where we are with that. But I think we're getting to a good place.
What is your take on the back fur? Would you like to have it or not have it, and what are the reasons, if not to have it?
I mean, probably, if you're running around with no armor on, the back fur, I don't really know. I'm not super sold on it. I think it was just an example showing what we could do. I much prefer like a mohawk style thing, which is on some of the other ones. But I think it could be one of the customization things. If we want to run around, naked torso, some crazy back fur, or like, crazy hairdo going on. But yeah, one of the reasons not to have it is, again, this guy is going to have an armor on.
Yeah.
At one point. So we have to figure out what to do with that. But again, the left-hand side is a stripped-down version where you see like how it looks at the lower, like most simple level, and then we can always add stuff on top of that.
Okay, so chat, let us know which one do you like more? Are we going Team Baron or we are going Team Grontar? Which one, chat? Let us know while Rasmus is preparing yet another important and interesting thing to be shown. People are writing elves. I don't know why. I asked, are we going Baron and Grontar? And they're like elves. So this is one of my favorite races. And I feel like a lot of people in the chat are also anticipating what you have prepared to show us next.
Yeah, well, I think the next one is early in development. So we're still exploring body types, we're still exploring more stuff, but we have her here. So we're figuring out like how thick or thin or muscly or lean should she be. So I think it's early development, but for me, it gives like an idea of some of the things we're exploring at this point in time. And I think also one of the main things for us is we want to make this race stand out a bit more from the infernal demons, right? They shouldn't be too close. So that is the sort of design challenge we have. How do we make them stand out if they're next to each other? They shouldn't look like the same, but with a different skin color. So that is the things we're working on at the moment.
I really love the take for the Sun Elf. I really like what you have done on the back. What you have done in this. Is this gonna be a tattoo or it's gonna be a glowing thing? How do you see it?
I would make it emissive.
Emissive.
Right, so
okay, so it's glowing.
Internal fire burning here. Yeah.
Okay, really good. Are elves gonna have horns or it's just exploration or something that we can have as customization? How do you feel about this?
No, I don't think we would. I don't think they should have horns. The main thing is then it would spill into another design language, right? You would spill into the infernal demons too much. So if we both have pointy ears, both have horns, right? Then becomes like, well, it's the same thing with a different skin color. Then so we want to try and limit things to be within a race, like
Okay.
especially like that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think we're taking quite a unique take on an elf, which by the way is one of the most familiar fantasy races. Like when you think about fantasy, right away you think dwarf, elf, orc, and goblin. These are like definitely the must-haves inside an MMORPG and a fantasy game. But the take which you guys are especially the art team is making with the elf, I think it's unique. I have not seen this fiery sun elf concept previously. So chat, let us know, what do you think about the sun elf concepts? Have you seen it previously? Do you like it? And what would you suggest? Okay.
I think that is the thing, right? Sometimes we have to keep some stuff back a little bit so we can surprise people too.
Yeah, exactly. Chat is loving what you're showing. Chat is definitely loving what you're showing. There are some comments that are spicy, especially for some of the shots. And I think it's interesting. Yes.
I can.
No, don't. Half of the viewer base will be gone if you do this. So don't. I had a really hard problem on last stream. I was fighting the chat against sliders. You know what kind of sliders? Sliders in the customization which allows you to enlarge and make some parts of the body smaller. I was like, me and Rasmus, we are not great fans of this because you can create monstrosities and you can ruin the art. So Rasmus, let me pass the curveball to you and ask you why we are not in for sliders, or maybe we are considering it. Like, would you consider such thing at all?
I think it's. I think it would be very difficult for us, especially when it comes to body types, because our armor system is very, very complex. I mean, you have multiple states of every single different piece you have on your body. So if we can scale or scale up or scale down elements, then that system would be challenged, I think. At one point, we talked about whether we wanted for faces and stuff, but then we think we can get quite far just having different sort of facial features we can kind of mix and match instead. So I think that is where we are at the moment. Like on a personal level, I think sliders can be nice sometimes, but also sometimes, again, just on a personal level, it can be pretty overdone.
Yeah.
I think, right, where it's like, well, you know, eyelids, eye widths, distance between an eyes, ears up, and it's like, well, you know, for me personally, I know some people love this, I understand, but for me on a personal level, I'd rather have like some cool armor gear I show off in a better way. I prefer that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying. Sliders can only work, in my opinion, if they are restricted, and restricted by a person and a team that knows how this system should work, like with minimum and maximum that is predefined, that whatever you do inside will not ruin the aesthetics of the model. Only then, in my personal opinion, I believe this can work.
I think it's back to that whole discussion whether we, you know, like how much freedom you want to give out, because with the palette, I think it is a non-destructive kind of thing in the same way. But with this particular thing here, it actually breaks some of the technical systems that does another cool thing.
Yeah.
Right, where a palette, you know, maybe you can argue, okay, we need something like that. But with this, it's like, well, then it will break an armor system. So it's like, what do you prefer, right? So for me, it is the armor system that's really cool.
I 100% agree. So, I think the chat really loved what you have shown us for the Sun Elf, and I know that you have other things prepared for us. So, shall we?
Yep. I just wanted to show one of these NPCs coming in. So these are not ours, the three you see here, but this is like a bit of an example of where we end up at one point, where it's like, okay, we want this spectral wisp NPC to be done, right? And we want to combine some of the sort of ghostliness of this. We like some of the clothy part of this, and we like the mouth idea in this one, right? So we're like, okay, well, you know, and this is actually after a lot of work happening first, and like not really finding the direction we wanted. Then one of the concept guys was like, okay, well, can we make these three kind of have a baby in design, right? So, and then they ended up with this thing, which I thought was really
the baby.
Cool. Right, so you can imagine this guy shooting. He's like going to be hammered into the ground, so he's not moving. He's shooting stuff at you. So him kind of pulling up and then firing out the front is also quite a different take to stuff I've kind of seen before, right?
Rasmus, before we move forward with this, can you elaborate a little bit on the complexity of making such a unique character? Because I feel like there is a lot with this character in terms of complexity. How would you rate it on the scale from 1 to 10? 1 being the easy, and 10 being, oh my god, this takes a month to be created.
Well, it depends, like whether it is like the 3D or 2D or the whole pipeline, whatever it is, right? Because conceptually, I think it's difficult to do something truly like original today, because so many drawings have been done, right? And so many things have been seen. So you're like, okay, if you want to make something that is not really seen combined in that way before, matching the gameplay that's needed from it, then it takes a while. I can't remember how long this took. I think actually this one, even though it is complicated, one of the concept guys actually did a lot of the legwork on, so he was pretty speedy on that. But normally something like that would take 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks to do if you want something real original on this. And then also when you, again, we can't just think about the complexity in terms of the concept. It's like when you look at this guy, well then, okay, how does he move, right? So we need to talk to riggers also. They're going to be like, what? He's got 4 arms? He can't have 4 arms because our rigs can't do that, right? And then we start to make some technical compromises sometimes, saying, okay, well, he doesn't need to like move his fingers. He doesn't need to like do this, right? We can do something where he just kind of rips off or something that's maybe more plausible. Then we have to talk to VFX guys. It's like, well, there's also like an emissive thing on him, right? He's a little bit kind of ghost-like. We need it to be emissive. How does it look, the thing that he fires? Like, what is he shooting? Like, how often? It's back to game design. How often is he firing this thing? How is it going to look like? What type of magic is it? You know, how does it affect people? So whenever we see one of these drawings, there's like it kicks off a whole cascade of thoughts the whole way through the whole team, right? I think often the general idea of function starts with game design. So they'll be like, I need a non-moving ranged something, and we're like, okay, well, where we're gonna use it? Like, what is the context? Is there anything special you wanted to do? Is it like a thematic in an area? Like, where do you want to use it? And then references are being found, condensed down, and then we sort of kick off the sort of early concepting stage. This isn't really like the early stage, right? Some of it is looking more like napkin sketches. This is the later stages where you have a pretty done design, different patterning on it, and then like a color and rendering pass at the end. And then this one is actually even a little bit extra that we don't always get, but it's like, well, how's it actually layered as a model, you know?
Rasmus, one question, because I've heard this and I'm reading this over the chat. When it comes to AI and early concepts, can you explain a little bit why do we use first AI for anything? And what is your take on AI and art in gaming in general? Can these two things, can they work? Like, what is your take? Do you see any benefit of art? Maybe in future, maybe in some area. How would you rate that?
I think it's such a difficult question because for me, it's more the ethical aspect of it. I do have like an issue with kind of scraping the whole internet, you know, without permission, people not being compensated. So for me, I've been in studios that have used it a lot, especially in the sort of early stages. So not the final stages, but like really fast conceptualizing of ideas. But we haven't done it here.
Yeah. So you have a firm take on no AI, and I have never seen. To be honest, we are joking with this, but the only person that uses AI for art, it's only me, and I'm doing this for the stream. So whenever the stream starts, that's the only AI that has been used when it comes to art and AI in our company.
Yeah. I mean, early on we tested it for icons and it just didn't work out, right? So we're like, okay, well, you want to use this? No. And again, the ethical thing kicks in.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a difficult and controversial subject, I think. And multiple different studios have got different approaches, but it's not for me.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I could just down here is actually like a bit of a sort of brief that one of our concept guys, Diego, has kind of pulled together. There's like, we needed like a venom wyvern. I know people are asking to see a dragon, and I can't really produce one right now, but this is kind of close-ish, right? So I thought we could kind of show this instead. So normally we pull in references, none of these are ours. We pull them in, we talk about what is it that we like, what defines a wyvern, and then say, well, we like the wings of these, we like the neck of this, we like the feeling of this, and then you start getting some early kind of scribbles and concepts here where it's like somebody is like, okay, we want to do like a really kind of spiny one, like a toady fat one, or like, we have all these kind of different takes on them. And then something we sort of iterate on, right? It's like, well, okay, well, what would work within the context of our game? And this is actually a super wide exploration. Sometimes you get a much narrower one, right, where it's only faces,
Rasmus, I want to stop you here because with this concept, a drone next to the person, the first question that comes right away in the chat is, oh my god, are flying mounts confirmed? Like, are those flying mounts? Then chat, this is not flying mounts. This is just the demonstration for the scale, so it's not flying mounts, and we're not confirming flying mounts, right?
Nope, none of that. It is for scale. It's basically one of the things that we need to do to, so if you don't, it's back to the whole styling thing, right? If you don't know how big something is, you don't know how much detail to add into it. If you put loads of details in, but then this guy is like knee height, then that will kind of break what we're doing, and we're back to the shouting grass and bricks kind of thing, right? There's more iterations down here. It's like, well, okay, what do we like? Well, okay, we're stuck with a longer neck, got loads of kind of spikes on, maybe a little bit too much. So basically, I just wanted to show the process that there's multiple steps, and there's a lot of the time we go, normally whenever you do design work, often it goes from like a funnel, right? You start wide and then you kind of funnel in towards something that you like. Sometimes the funnel is like straight to the point. Other times it can be a longer funnel when it's a complex design. I'll show another one.
I love those. I love those. All of these are concepts that have been created by our artists, right? That we're seeing right now.
These ones here, not.
Okay.
These ones, so we're working with an outsourcing studio for some of these. The one you saw before, definitely. So our artists are involved in all of this.
Okay,
right?
so we
it's not
hired
like
we hired artists to do this for us. Okay, an outsourcing studio.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So because we have so many designs to do that we need a little bit of extra support, even though the internal
It's
team
really
is
cool.
awesome. We just need extra hands on it.
Really cool.
Okay, let me see what the next thing is. Oh yeah, I wanted to show some, oh my god. Okay. A little bit of like in-game models also, right? So basically we're designing stuff in what we call families. Right, so this is the skeleton family. So basically what we're doing is we're kind of designing like a sort of Ken doll or Barbie doll here, and then we can dress it up in different ways, right? So we're like a very basic
I
skeleton.
think your representation of Barbie doll is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, I got 3 girls at home, right? So I'm like, maybe
I hope you're not gifting them these kind of Barbies, you know?
this one I got one. Yeah, no. So yeah. But basically, so we do this, and this is basically our way to maintain the quality that we want and get a higher volume of assets through faster, right? So we don't design a new skeleton inside this every time. We have the skeleton and then we dress it up differently. Not like a Barbie doll, but like you would normally do. Put on different clothing on
Chat
yourself.
is saying this is undead Ken.
But so basically here you can see also the same texturing style has been applied to these guys that was applied on the armors and on the NPC costumes. So we have kind of this particular thing is also from a partner we're working with, and we're kind of sharing the texturing approach. So we make sure that everything is looking like it belongs in the same world. Berserker guy that doesn't, polish his axes or anything.
That guy killed me many times in Farabelle, by the way. the game designers have made him OP there.
Totally. Yeah. It's a thing, isn't it? If they like something, all of a sudden it just murders everybody.
Yeah. He has this weird whirlwind ability that he uses the axe, and it's just devastating. We need to check this thing again to balance it a bit.
Yeah. And here we have like a sort of archer. I think he looks really cool. And then we have a mage down here. And this is back to what you were talking about before with like what needs to be effects from one of these guys. It could be cool, if you had some emission going off, if you had a little bit of a, like a sort of a dark tendrily smoke coming out of this thing also, right? So you're like just giving it that little bit extra of, as I said also before, extra magic, right? So it's not just a guy with a staff with light in it, but it has to be like that extra layer on top. That is really what we want to do. I wanted to show a working smart thing, right?
Okay.
And this is actually tying into what we're doing here. So here we have like a Necromancer.
Oh my god, chat, wait. You mentioned Necromancer. Chat. See what you're seeing on the screen. When we say Necromancer, this is what comes in Rasmus' head. Now, tell me, chat. Isn't Rasmus the best guy for this task?
This is, this guy is, again, we're building on the family, right? This is kind of what we're doing. He's the head of the family, this guy.
That's the head of the family.
So he's like, if you don't listen, then you're going to get it with the scythe kind of thing.
I would definitely love to have this sight as a weapon inside the game. This would be amazing. This would be amazing. So you have it on the left side. You have the sight. So can you confirm us? Is this gonna be an actual weapon? 3D weapon? Do you plan this thing to be inside?
Let me just scroll down a bit.
Okay. On the right side, you need to scroll it on the left because it's behind you. Now we see it. Now is it. Okay. So we have it.
Yeah.
We have it, chat. We have it. And you have also done already the armors themselves. Oh my god, I'm seeing something below. The full Necromancer in 3D.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to show here was sometimes we do stuff to give more experiences to players, right? We want people to have to experience this NPC or this mini boss or whatever this guy is, and we want you to have him be him to be visually different. But sometimes we can use, for example, the base skeleton we had.
Okay.
And then you saw the skeleton mage armor we had before, where we're like, okay, we can strip some of it away, we can reuse some of it, and then the only thing we need to build on top of it is actually this.
Oh my god. That's working smart.
Weapon.
That's working smart that you were saying.
Yep, this is one of the guys who's like, I can do this fast. Right, I was like, okay. He proved that he could do it fast. So keep in mind, this like a human would probably be like this height here to my cursor, like so less than shoulder height, so it look a little bit more impressive than it does in this. So this is normally, whenever we do these turntables, where you see front side and so on, there's no perspective in it.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like orthographic projection, so everything looks a little bit less impressive, but this guy would be pretty crazy inside the game. And I think if we looked at just going up a little bit, one of the things that would be awesome also is to give him like a larger footprint on the ground, right? So he would take up quite a bit of space on screen when you meet this guy.
That's spooky.
Yep. Okay, so let's see what. Oh yeah, we have another guy incoming. There's also another skeleton guy. He's not in 3D though, but he's in the cards at some point.
See, he's about to be at some point, right?
At some point, we'll see how much we can squeeze in. But this guy, again, like what we're building on the whole family idea, right? So we have the base skeleton. We're putting different armors on. We're putting different robes on. We can combine stuff, and then again, all of this is to try and maintain the visual quality and at the same time give different gameplay experiences, right? I think that is really what we're trying to do with these approaches here.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Let's see. I got another example of that next to you here. So, okay, well, I've got too many things actually. But,
because the team is working on too many things. That's the reality.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, these are all the done things. We're working on equally many things at the same time, almost, right? So basically, here, this is the Spider Queen. You might have seen it in some of the videos. Whenever you see some of the NPCs and creatures in the videos at the moment and the stream, there is an issue with the shader. So you can't actually see what is shiny on it, what is not shiny on it. So that's going to be fixed very soon. So everything is going to look a little bit more integrated into the actual game, but it's a thing we are on. But here actually, so you have the Spider Queen, and then one of the things we could do was to make a smaller sort of spiderling here, and then sometimes we can even reuse some of the animation. Obviously, a Spider Queen would have way more animations and special attacks and everything else, and little dude like this one would be much more simple to do, but we're reusing the rig sometimes, so how the skeleton is set up and how it moves. So we're really trying to sort of push in content and add some volume at this point in time. Same thing for the scorpions. They're going to be playing differently. There might be a couple of different attacks, so it's not going to be exactly the same, but it is a variation on one of them. Well, this guy, and before anybody's talking about he's gotten hit by a spear, this is what a second. This is for rigging. So we have to code it like that.
So it's not gonna be like that in the game, right?
No. If you see it like this in game, I wouldn't like to say it. I don't like to report a bug.
Okay, guys, if you see it like this, report a bug. This is not intended.
It's not intended, no. So
That's a spear,
this
as
is
the
a
chat
Hellcat.
says. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Hellcat. He's also going to have some emissive qualities to him. So, yeah, so work is ongoing on a lot of these. So you're not just going to be seeing this guy, who's the Gorgeor, who is the first
Already in the game.
creature. Yep. So this is like smaller tweaks we do. With this, you can't really tell, but we're also going to have, basically this is a retexture of it. But these creatures will have like, some of them will have special attacks. There will be slightly different scales and everything else. So your gameplay experience should be different whenever you meet these ones, right? That is the main thing we want to give it to you. That they feel different.
Yeah, it's a lovely pet. This is something that you would take as a dog.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I just want to see like a goblin riding this thing.
Oh,
Right?
shall we?
On the back of this. Again, I'm not promising anything, but I think maybe the riggers will kill me or the animators will kill me. Like whoever gets to me first. But you know, stuff like that is something that would be super nice to have, but also a very complicated thing to do, right? But just wanted to show again, like, so this is, sometimes we do variations like this, which is a fairly fast way of doing it. And
Can I ask you one question? Sorry to interrupt you, but I see that there is a mark of the Sacred Order symbol on the Gorgeor. Why is that?
Yeah, that's this is like a domesticated animal.
Oh,
right?
okay.
He looks peaceful, doesn't he? There's also got to be one from the domination side.
The chat is saying Goblin race confirmed. So Rasmus, you see what you did there? You just said I want to see this on top of the Gorgeor, and the chat is like Goblin race confirmed. Done and dusted.
I think the chat will understand that this is why I'm not in a lot of streams.
Goblin race confirmed. Now there will be a lot of people chasing you after the stream. Rasmus, why did you promise goblins to the chat?
Yeah. Well, we can watch it back. I don't think I said anything confirmed, and
of course,
I'm not even hinting at that.
No. This is how chat. This is how chat understands things, you know.
Yeah. So basically, this is like a standard creature, so to speak. But I wanted to show you how you can also take it. This looks kind of crazy. The scale is also off, but basically, we want to say, okay, if you have this guy, but you want to make him into this guy. Like what, how do we do that? Then somebody did a quick test and said, okay, well, we're going to try and mock it up. We're going to try and recolor it. Like how close can we get? And we're like, well, okay, we can kind of work with that. And then this is the sort of next stage where they're reusing a lot of the things. They're reusing the body. They're stripping off the fur because it looks a little bit goofy on this one. And this one looks way cooler, right? So we're like, again, we're working from a base and adding on top of it. And I think that's been one of the frustrating things for us when wanting to produce volume, is that before we can produce volume, we need the base.
Yeah.
When we have the base, things are better.
The chat is saying from now on, Rasmus should be on all streams because they have seen so much stuff. So they love what you're doing and what you're showing.
Oh man. I know I've held back some of these things also, but I think now we're like
goblins. What are we seeing, Rasmus? What are we seeing, Rasmus? Oh my god. That's something cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. Chat, let us know. Do we love the goblins, chat? Do we love the goblins? Confirmed. Chat is already confirming this is a race.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I think just on this, so basically everything you see, just a big shout out to all the art teams, right? Because it might be me sort of presenting it, but really everything you see is such a ridiculous amount of teamwork. there's many people involved, and even one guy like this, getting this guy in game, is pretty a significantly massive task. So just that, I definitely need to mention the team here, right?
Absolutely.
So basically we're using the family approach again. We've got this dude, right? He's a little grumpy guy. Then we have a melee version. We have this little candle thing. We thought that would be funny if he runs around inside a dungeon or cave or something. If not, we can remove that.
I remember one saying, especially for kendos, you get no kendo. There was one NPC saying that in one other game.
I think it's a cool idea. We have it for the kind of archer version also, so you can see what he's doing. Then we have this guy here, which is a mage.
Ooh, you take no frog. You take no frog.
I love this guy.
I love it.
This guy is my favorite of everything.
I love it.
He's kind of just telling the guy where to go, right? This is...
Oh my god, yes, I just saw that at that specific moment. He's navigate... Oh my god, that's such a cool idea. That's so lovely. Oh my god.
I think it's fun. It was, again, it was Constantine that came up with this idea. I thought it was a great idea. And then we took it and we just ran with it. We're like, okay, this is a little bit crazy. I mean, it's also this thing where I know we're not as cartoony as we were in the start, right?
Yeah.
Some of the cartooniness has gone off, but it doesn't mean that we have to be dry.
Absolutely.
Right? We can do little quirky stuff like this. I think I would like to just find this hat and put it on my character, right? So being controlled by a frog. I mean, stuff like that. We need to have a little bit of a kind of a quirkiness like that too.
The chat is saying frog helmet confirmed. Man, this is my favorite part of the stream so far. This specific NPC, this creature is really great. It really shows that you guys are willing to just do something different, to pour your soul into it, to express your artistic capabilities, and I think we are having something really, really good. And this, by the way, is a 3D model. We're not seeing a concept here, right?
Yeah, 3D model, yeah. Yeah, 3D.
Yeah.
Same thing here, he's got like a little friend.
One second.
So this guy's gonna run into you and explode.
Okay, so
this guy.
Do we have a name for that guy?
The little bomb guy, no.
The little bomb guy. Okay, chat, let us... I really want to hear from you, chat. How should we name this creature? I really want you to be creative, and let's see who amongst you will give the best name for that creature. Okay?
Yeah, man.
I love it. I love it.
Again, hopefully the chat can see the consistency across the assets, right? The way they're textured, the way that they've been modeled when it comes to defining anatomy and everything else, right? So
I love the proposition about Taco Bell.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, we have great namings.
So I think, yeah, for me, I think these guys are going to be really cool and sort of fun to fight.
Absolutely.
And also just a bit different, right? A little bit more crazy than some of the other NPCs. Maybe I'm revealing too much. What are we
No, you're not. I think everyone is enjoying what they're seeing, and this is something that is coming in the game. And they say name it Leroy. That's a cool reference, but I think we should not go that far. We should create our own Leroys, guys. This is why we are united here, to create our own Leroys.
Yeah. We should definitely name him something. He's gonna be cool. Should be some kind of things kind of plopping out here as well when he's running, right? So he's like spilling some of this content.
Bumbling.
A bit of smoke after him, maybe.
Bumbling is good. Chat loves bumbling.
Bumbling, yeah.
Yeah. Really, really cool. So Rasmus, what do you have in store next for us?
Well, we have this is I wanted to show some early development on this guy also, right? So we're like, then Alex is the guy who comes with a wish list of things for us to try and make, right? So it's like, I want a Goblin King. And we're like, okay, what does that mean? Right? It can be anything. Is it a guy on a throne? Is it like a little, like, it's a massive guy, small guy? What is it, right? And then we sort of bounce back and forth and we're like, okay, what could a Goblin King look like? So we're trying all kinds of different phases here. Again, this is Diego, who's kind of worked with some other artists to just experiment, because whenever it's like a boss-like creature, you know, you have more leeway, not Leroy, you have more leeway to actually try out things and spend a little bit more time because it has to be special, right?
Yeah.
So we went through this.
Rasmus, let me stop you for a moment because we are in an ad break before we go further. And I think after we conclude with the ad break, very recently, after we do that, we will go over what you have prepared. And then we will go inside the game and see some cool places that you have, that you want to share with us, right? Shall we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, chat,
you're gonna have to stop me. I can keep going for a long time on this.
Let's use the time to hydrate, because these are the easiest streams for me. I just invite a good guest like you and like Alex, and I just sit and I enjoy what you guys are going to show to the community, because I know working day by day with you guys, you are the best at what you are doing. And I am super confident to just sit down and just listen, because I know very well that what you're going to show, what you're going to say, is definitely something that the community will like. And so far, I'm really loving what I'm seeing. And I think the chat is doing the same, is enjoying what we're seeing.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Everything is cool. Okay, 30 seconds and then we continue. I absolutely loved everything that we have seen around the goblins. It's really, really cool creatures. Really cool creatures.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's how far I want to push it also, right? And basically we have all these designs now that we can choose to use later if we find another thing where they kind of fit in.
So we're ready. We're back from the ads and we can continue with what Rasmus have prepared for us. So let's see.
Yep, so basically, as I said, with the boss, sometimes you get a little bit more time to explore some of these things, right? So we're like, well, how crazy do we want to go with this guy? You still need to be able to recognize him as a goblin. So maybe some of the things go more ochre-like. Maybe we're kind of pushing it too far. It's not the face that we need to push, right? It's something else, maybe, right? So then there was like a look at like different body types. It's like, well, you know, how beefy is he? Like, is he fat? Is he like what's the kind of look and what's the size of him compared to a normal goblin? So you're kind of seeing a lot of the process here. It's like, okay, well, then we're going into like some pretty crazy stuff here when we like the volume. We're not still sure about this face. We prefer something that's a little bit closer to a standard goblin. Some crazy ideas here, right? You have like a little goblin pilot on the side here. You know, you have like one that's at the front here, right?
Or we just put a bigger frog.
Yeah, totally. Toad, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of these things here, a lot of these designs are designs we potentially can get back to later and say, well, do you know what? I need a variation of this guy. We have the base, as you saw before. We have almost a Goblin King family, and then we build on top of that also. So there's some pretty crazy ideas of having like these kind of what do they call that, little cart for
mining
kind
cart.
of punching people, right? So like some of the ideas are really good. There's some things about like how he should be accessorized, ears, like teeth, all kinds of variations. There's this idea of reusing some of the same design language for his helmet that has been used already, but maybe that's not king-like enough. So then it ended up with this guy kind of fully kitted out, right?
So that's a Goblin King. Okay.
The thing I wanted to show you though is that, so this is sometimes where we have to take a technical look at it also,
Yeah.
right? Because this guy is fully kitted out, right? And we're like, okay, well, this is going to take a long time, long time to do.
Too many
And
details.
also, the poly count is going to be super high. And also, some of the stuff we talked about was like, okay, maybe it is difficult to read what is actually going on in this design,
Yeah.
right? It's like maybe it's just too crazy. So after talking about that and figuring out the technical stuff, we dimmed him down a lot,
Yeah.
right? We're like, we still have all the other components designed. We can pick out one or two, put on him, but the base version of him will be a much simpler version. So we're not going to have the tech art team go nuts on us. People's PCs aren't going to melt. You know, so sometimes, and this is the thing where sometimes something is designed in 2D, you think it's very awesome, and then you kind of have the technical realities of like, okay, well, how far can we push this without blowing up the game?
Yeah.
So just wanted to show that sometimes what you see is also like a sort of watered down version because of technical complications. But you know, the guy is not done. We are going to add some little bit of detail in his upper body also. But we thought since it's a king, we want the focus to be on the helmet. And also we like the idea of him having like a massive chest full of gold that he's just kind of,
What a cool hammer.
you know, patching you with, right? So again, a bit of a different sort of take on it. Okay.
The chat is saying the Goblin King needs some scars though.
I think everyone does.
The Goblin King
Let's
is
see.
going to give you scars, guys. Not you give him. So.
Oh my god! I just moved something over here.
1 second.
This is
okay.
this is especially for you.
Oh, this is for me. So
yeah.
now you're gonna see what Rasmus have prepared for me. When I said
Yeah.
we need to make environment and colors pop, and this is what Rasmus have bring to me. See this, chat. See this.
Yeah.
To saturate or not to
Okay.
saturate? I love how you named it. And you, chat. He even took out a comment from YouTube. See this? And he have taken my response.
Right. So, I am obviously teasing quite a bit, right? So I think the main thing is, I think there's some questions on like why parts of the game, a lot of the game is looking quite grayish, and that is a fair point. We do have some sort of technical things. I'll cover them in a minute. But basically, the main thing for me is to say it is not as easy as just saturating everything, because then you run into the same issue as with everything, like the bricks shouting bricks, the grass shouting grass, and everything is just like equally intense, right? So that means when you're in combat and you need to interpret like a spell that's being cast at you, you can't, your eyes are just going to start bleeding because everything is 100% saturation, where you cannot comprehend all the stuff that's happening all at once, right? So that is why I'm kind of pushing back on the sort of full saturation, but saturation needs to happen in moderate areas, and then also just to be controlled, right? So this, I had to I was reading it and I was wondering, is it subjective or no? But I had to put it in.
Okay. So one does not simply make the design pop.
So basically, whenever you're doing stuff like this, and you have to build like a visual hierarchy, right? And what that means is that you have to figure out like what are the most important things on the screen, and how do you make sure that those are the first ones that players actually see, right?
Yeah.
So normally you kind of limit certain assets to sit within a certain color and like a value and saturation band, right? So you're like, UI and VFX are the first things that sort of pop into your head. You need to be able to read it. It needs to be clear, and it needs to be very easy to understand. It has to be the first thing you see.
Yeah.
Characters are the second most important thing. You want to see where am I on screen, and where are you on screen, because I want to hit you with this.
Unless you're in
VFX,
stealth. Unless you're in stealth.
And then it comes to the environment assets, which is again toned back a little bit. And then it comes to the ground, which is toned back a little bit again. So these are more on an individual asset level. But the issues we're having are actually more on a fog on a level, which is more like a global thing.
Oh
right?
my god!
So,
Sorry to stop you, but I really love what you're showing on the right. Can you just put it a little bit? Yes, centralize it and a little bit up. Oh my god! I really love what you have did on the right.
right on the left, right?
No, not on the left. I really love what you guys did. So can you explain us why we have this one on top right looking like that, and why we have the one looking on top left like that?
Yeah, I think so. Currently, the thing that's in the game is on the left-hand side, right? That is how the game is looking
at the moment,
which is too subdued in a lot of places, and we're kind of trying to figure out how we can make that less just bleak. Some zones do need to be bleak, and it needs to be terrible, and you need to feel that is, it's okay to have that as a mood, but not as a general sort of impression everywhere, right? On the left-hand side, there's no fogging. I think, in my opinion, this is like slightly too saturated, or too much of the entire screen has got a high saturation level. So you need to balance it out. There's also no players in it. There's no VFX going off. If that was all happening on top of this, you would have a hard time seeing it, right? So what we wanted to do is find some place in between, right? So this is not a final thing, but we want to have what we have on the left-hand side, which is what you're currently seeing. We want to add some more saturation to parts of it, because then that's gonna feel like the whole game is more saturated. Skybox especially, and we need better control over our fogging system. If you're looking at, for example, I'm gonna go back up here. Can you see that?
1 second to
fog band?
Okay, now they can see. Yes.
So basically, there's this fog band of just flat, dead space.
Yeah.
That also killing a lot, right? So we want to get rid of that, and then also we want to push the fog back, so everything is not in your face.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna get somewhere, like, again, I said it before, with, where it's kind of like we want these two things to have a baby, right? It's okay to have elements which have got a high saturation level, but again, they cannot supersede readability of VFX, because that is a massively important gameplay thing, right? So that is the balance that we have to strike, and that is the thing we're working on at the moment. This is, actually, I don't know,
yes, I will enable
the video
it.
here.
I will hit it. I will enable
Yes.
it. Yes. Now
So
it's
basically,
playing.
this is not actually this is not exactly where we wanted to go, but this is kind of what we have now. We have some different skybox blending and light blending whenever you're changing between two zones. But this is kind of what we're looking at, and the thing that we want to improve. But we are working with our tech art team on the next step. So we've got better control of the lighting, more control of the skybox, and more control over some of the fogging to sort of ease some of these problems.
So basically, you're showcasing here a system that showcases in real time how we change the skybox and the lighting inside the scene. And yet again, nothing that we are showing right now is final. And this is also in editor, that is not having all the post-processing, beautiful stuff, etc. It's just a small demo showcasing that specific system, but it's not how it's gonna look in the game. That's very important.
Yeah, so I think a lot of this stuff, especially the lighting, is something that we're working on at the moment. And it would be nice if we could sit back and wait until the lighting system is done before we do any more assets and everything, right? But fortunately, lighting is like a global dial kind of thing, right? So lighting, you change a lot at the same time, sort of massive area. So we had to sort of keep pushing on the assets. But I think we're going to end up in a good place. The tech art team we have are also, like the other art teams, like super talented. So I'm confident we're going to get to somewhere good.
So Rasmus, before we move forward, chat, I really want to hear your opinion on what. So we all agree that on left is something that we are not happy with. So Rasmus have shown you two variants here on the right, on the upper level or in the bottom, showcasing the change. So definitely we want to have the things on the right, but give us feedback. Do you want to go a little bit closer to what you see on the top, or you are happy with what you're seeing? Let me go like that. Should we go, are we happy with bottom, or you want to a little bit dial up towards the top? So let me make a poll. Let me make a poll for this, and let's see what chat will say, because it's going crazy. But I think everyone agrees on the bottom. So let me make a really fast one poll, and you can also 1 second. Vote on environment mood. Up.
As a
Bottom.
As a note,
Yep.
that definitely needs to. We definitely need to have like a range of moods within the world, right? So there might be
Okay.
areas that feel more bleak. There might be areas which are much more sunshiny and happy days. Some with close fog, some with far fog.
Okay. So before we move on, let's just give 1 minute to the chat to see what the community will say about this. I definitely like your take, and I definitely can see the difference between what it is and what it will be. And it's still not final. It definitely can be even better than that. And I think the chat is also agreeing with us, and you have around 86%, 87%, it's even climbing about bottom. So we definitely see the improvement, and we appreciate you, Rasmus, what you're doing in here. You cannot just simply make things pop. That couldn't be a better meme than that. Okay, okay.
I think the main thing is just for me, it is trying to think about it from a gameplay perspective, right? I mean, it's you might have been in a game where you're walking around in a scene and it looks nice,
Yes.
right? It's very vivid, everything is nice, but then if you're being assaulted by like 10 goblins, right, and everything is going off all at once, it actually becomes a strain on your eye, right? You don't want to have like completely red eyes after playing the game. So for me, there definitely can be elements on scene that are highly saturated and gives like a vivid sort of impression. So it's just how you moderate it with the screen space available, right? So that's the main thing, and I think we're going to see this happening within the next month or month and a half or whatever. We're going to keep working away on this, and we're going to get to a good place.
Great. So the chat is pretty much concluding. I'm sorry, I can only run polls in Twitch, but we have around 90% of the people are voting for bottom. So kudos for that. I think we are all behind Rasmus and what he is doing, and we all believe in Rasmus, and I think we're up to something good. So Rasmus, you have some other things you want to share with us, or you want us to hop in the game? How do you see it?
I think we can hop in the game. I think those were the most important things that I wanted to share. So just like a kind of general update and just show like a lot of the hard work that the teams are putting in. And again, I just want to make sure to mention that we have a UI team who's working really hard, where I haven't really shown anything. We have an animation team who's working really hard, but I haven't shown anything. We have a VFX team working very hard. We have a rigging team working behind the scenes, making sure all this stuff can move around, right? So there's and my admin team are doing loads of assets also. So like there really are many people behind the things that I've kind of shown here today. And all of them are working to really kind of push it up a notch and make sure that, we give you the best game that we can make.
So big applause for all of these teams and the job that is being done. Of course, a lot can be improved, but you guys can definitely see right now. And I will enable, chat, I will enable the applauses 1 second, and then we can do a round of applauses for Mr. Rasmus and the team. Let me just enable it. Okay, so we have the emote enabled. So chat, are we happy with what we have seen from the art? Yay! I don't know if you can hear it, Rasmus. Chat is going crazy. Chat is going crazy. Bravo, bravo. Okay, okay. Okay, so let me put it down. Great, 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 great. So, chat, now me and Rasmus are gonna go in the game. Are we hyped for that? Are we hyped for what we're gonna see? We are going to go together with Rasmus and we are going to see some beautiful places where he decided he want to show us. It's very important, guys. We are showing you an in-development build. It's important to understand that nothing which you're gonna see in the game is final. Nothing of the visuals, nothing of the animations, nothing of nothing is final. So Rasmus, let me minimize this and I will launch the game. You can launch it yourself. Maybe you can give me some coordinates and I will find you inside the game. 1 second, why cannot minimize this? Oh, okay, here it is. So let me put it down. Let me start the game from our launcher. 1 second. Where is it? Okay. So let me launch this. What race are you gonna play, Rasmus?
I'm just gonna be human.
Okay, I will join with human as well.
I can see that the coordinates are not quite working. Let's see.
If you want, we can go at the starting point of the humans, and we can travel together to the places which you want to see, and there we'll just stay there, and we will do a Q&A section, guys, with you to answer all of your questions. And this is why Rasmus is here, not just to bring you the cool stuff, but also to discuss a lot of things with you. So let me just join in. 1 second.
I'm just loading also.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm in. I will go in front of the city. Let me just find where I am currently. So, guys, it's important to understand one thing. In the upcoming test, you're going to play only in this zone. You're going to play only in this zone, and there is a big reason why. We want to stress test the servers. We want to stress test the client and get as much as possible information. So basically, this is why we want to have you all in one place. This is the biggest stress test we can put on the game, and the first test that we are going to do this year is exactly for that. So, oh my god, these Gorgios attacked me. Oh my god.
I have to find you.
So I see you. I see you. You have is Bzigs your name?
Yeah, it was a randomly picked one.
Yes.
Hang on, I just need to get kitted out a little bit, I think. Hang on.
Okay, sure. Oh, so your Kevin cheats. Chat, see what Rasmus is doing. See what Rasmus is doing in front of me. So what is that cool? Oh, that's so cool armor. That's so cool armor. So I will follow you. Are we gonna use speed cheats or we're just going to run?
Yeah,
is it far away?
Remember the speed cheat.
Set speed. Set speed, and you need to write something, I believe, above 10. 0 is to put it to the default. So which one are you using?
Right.
How much did you set it?
I put it at 20.
20. Okay, I'll set 20 as well. Okay. So let's speedrun it.
It's good.
And by the way, chat, take a moment to recognize that we are running it with speed. That is not what you're going to run basically inside the game. And the movement is smooth. The movement is smooth even in that. I mean, you don't see that flicker thing. Shall we reduce the speed a little bit? I think we're rushing too much. Let's go set speed to 0 just to showcase the team, the chat, how big of an area this thing is and how does it feel to just run inside. I think that's important. So we are heading a specific zone, or we are going to go to see a viewpoint which you want to showcase. This is also a beautiful place. What's that thing down there? Something is moving.
That's a very typical placeholder
Yes.
guy, right?
Especially when you're doing in development build. But man, I'm in a really cool shot at the moment. I'm really cool shot at the moment.
Yeah, I think the thing that's happening now, as we talked about with the lighting and with fog and the skybox, would make a vista point like this look very different.
So Rasmus,
And I think,
sorry to interrupt you. There is this beautiful thing that I was referring to. I've seen you guys somehow climbed over there. There is a fortress inside the mountain in front of us, and I think there we had a really beautiful scenery. Can we go there, or you use cheats to go there?
I actually, I don't think I was there. Maybe it was one of the other guys. I think we can try.
Okay, let me bump
Okay.
up the audio sounds, by the way. Okay, let me just bump it up. Okay, and then let's go. Okay, let's go. Oh, so is this the place that you wanted to show us, or you want to go different place before we go there?
I wanted to run a little bit further this way, if I remember correctly. Let me just see. Maybe I'm going off track here.
Okay.
Oops. See, I want to get over to that.
Oh, that's cool. That's
We're starting
really
to get
cool.
a little bit of scale in right, which is also quite nice. And then I think one of the things to just notice when you're looking out here is like the trees have had an overhaul. I don't know if you've seen it
Yeah.
in sort of previous streams, but I think before we had an issue where trees didn't really look that tree-like, and you didn't really feel it was a forest when you ran into it. So we had one of the guys went through and actually made it feel more like an actual forest when you're running into it, which I think is just a nice. It's just a nice touch. It feels much more kind of lush when you go into it, which is great.
Are those choppable trees in front of us right now?
Yep.
I don't
They're
have the
actually
tool,
getting a
by
bit
the
of
way.
a liquor paint as well. If you're looking at the tree canopies compared to the other ones, they look a little bit dated, so they're gonna get a liquor paint. But yep.
I don't have the tools. We need to have a game designer to tell us. By the way, I need to move my camera so that chat can see. Oh, wait 1 second, sorry. Let me bring that back. 1 second, let me select my camera. So you see, chat, I'm moving my camera. There is a place with gathering tools that you need to have specific tools in order to trigger the gathering. So this is why I'm not able currently to cut the tree. And I don't know the ID of oh, so you're casting something with uncompleted shader.
Yeah. This is the beauty of live demo, isn't it?
Especially when it's in development build. Yeah, the shader is not. Oh, that was cool. How did you make this thing appear to?
I can do stuff too.
Really cool spell. Really cool spell. Let me just go to the chat. I love that. I think. Oh, but I can do also cool things. Wait. Let me show you. I also have cool spells. Isn't this lovely?
That's nice. I reward you.
So here is one example. Let's stay for a moment over here and speak about exactly what you said. That the character and the VFX needs to pop out from the environment.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You burned the ground.
That's it. And I think, this one, I mean, the thing is, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, so the VFX are in the process of being balanced, because some of them, like maybe this one, is a little bit wild.
Yeah.
Right, so we need to kind of balance out these guys, and that's something we're working with Alex on.
This is one of my favorite spells, by the way. Visually, I really like it.
Yeah.
So, there is a mule over here? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me follow you.
I wanted to have a look at a waterfall, actually. I think it's on the other side. We can run this way, I think.
Okay. So, chat.
But I think generally, Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. So I wanted to say one thing. Chat, you see only one zone of the continent, and you see how much time we're traveling. So you can get a better understanding about the size of the environment. By the way, where did you go? You jumped down?
I ran up. I ran up.
Oh, I lost you.
See you again, find you again.
Oh, I see you. I see you.
Mm.
By the way, I think I should invite you to party.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
There's a bear scooting
Oh
around.
my god.
Also.
Without that's an old bear without animation. Okay.
Yeah, speaking of not done.
How big will
Well,
the
thank you.
map be when it's finished? Roughly in kilometers. Do you know that number?
That's probably more of a sort of level design thing. They probably would know. I don't know. It is pretty massive as you run around.
It's
There's
massive.
really quite a bit of area to cover.
It's massive. Absolutely.
So,
So,
what I
can you-
wanted to show
Yeah,
was
go
actually
ahead.
just as that lighting and skybox change when you run through here.
Oh, okay.
This was the thing we saw in the video, and then we kind of see how that feels like when we go through it.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to transition right now into another zone. Oh yes, it changes, it shifts. The mood
Yeah,
shifted. Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's kind of blending. It's kind of blending.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is a really cool place. Let's stay for a moment over here. This is really cool place. Like this is a huge bridge. I'm pretty sure if we jump from here, we die, right?
Yeah.
If we jump from
Yeah, we
here,
should
we
just
die.
Not hit the rock, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get over here. I think the level art guys have done a great job also of like whenever you enter into a zone, they try and make a bit of a sort of footprint, right? So when you come into this, you see this sort of crinkled up trees, and you're like, you know that this is a different zone, you know, the lighting has changed. And then they try and tell these small stories as you walk around. Like for me, this is still like one of my favorite zones. I think it's pretty cool. I think the thematic is interesting. We want to add some more things. Maybe, you know, if the VFX team has got time, we could do some VFX of like little wisps kind of flying around and stuff
Oh.
also. So I really think it's an interesting place. Now the question is for Alex, isn't it? Of like, so which NPCs am I going to encounter here?
Yeah. So this is where Alex and the team will go to basically make sure that they populate. So basically right now what we're seeing is intentionally we're moving this because this is staging. Where we are playing at staging, which is in development, the most stable branch. And not everything that you see here is basically exist in the other places, in the other branches, not places. Sorry. So there isn't this in front of us? No, it's not the domination. I thought it's a domination city.
Yeah, no, that's far away. I just want to have a look. I think it's this way where there's a waterfall, and the guys have done a great job doing waterfalls also that just look
Okay.
pretty awesome.
Okay.
There's a few old models standing around here. I'm just going to sprint past.
We need to clean those models. Yeah, these are old models.
Yeah,
We need to clean them.
let's have a look.
Oh, that's cool.
I think
Oh, that's cool.
we're starting to get some of the scale that we want when you're running around the world.
Oh, that's so
The guys
cool.
have pushed
Yes.
like height and depth a lot more, which I think is just nice. But here actually, if you're looking at this, what is that? That's north.
Yeah.
You can see that color band, like the fog is messing up with things, and you can also see the mountain range, the white thing, has got this straight line under it of the fog, which just kind of breaks it a lot. So,
Yeah.
so these are the things we're gonna try and get fixed.
So-
So it's you're gonna get actual vista points, not just kind of like a kind of fog limited view.
Shall we use this place because it's a cool place, or you want to go to a better place where we can sit down and do a Q&A section? How do you see it?
I wanted to go next to the waterfall,
Oh,
which
okay, let's
is
go there.
this way, I think.
Okay.
There's a little bit of ground to cover still. We'll get there. Should be on the left-hand side up here, I think. You can start seeing it a little bit when you get to this.
So the skybox again shifted, I believe.
Yeah, shifts a little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool place. I think here definitely with lightning and a little bit of a pop more on covers, it will be just be sweet. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? I think it definitely just can be a lovely place.
I love the waterfall on the left-hand side as you come running into this. I think the guys have done a really good job on that. You know, we have quite a few waterfalls, so I think it was nice, just kind of feature thing to have a look at.
Yeah.
And you're going to get to this little place where you can just have a proper look left and right when we get over here and the little bridge.
Yeah. Now the skybox changed it again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. So, it's a good place. It's a good place where we can sit down and do a round of Q&A section of the stream. So, guys, here with us is Rasmus, art director of Scars of Honor. We are in-game on a cool vista where we just want to sit down and have a quiet time and a good community time, but also answer a lot of your questions. So, without further ado, I'm starting to read all of the questions that you guys have in mind from both YouTube and Twitch. So, is the tree boring? Unreal 5 feature. So, in general, it's not Unreal. It's Unity. And let me continue with other questions. So, 1 second. People are enjoying how big is the world? So, this is the map. And what you have seen is basically us traveling a lot of distance, but really small place was traveled indeed on the map. So on the public test that we're going to do in the spring, this is the place where all of you guys are going to join with the intent to stress test the servers and the client. So first question. Hi, wondering if there will be a closed open beta sometime in the future, or how soon we can expect to hear something. In the spring is the closest test that we are going to see. Now, Armegon, can you put marks on the map? I think, let me put up the legend. So there are marks. There are marks that are existing, but this is staging build that you're seeing, and it's pretty empty. This is not the place where we populate something that is not final. We don't, because you have seen already issues from the past, from like creatures that shouldn't exist over here. So another question. Do we know what kind of summons we expect? Static, temporary, weak, or strong? I'm not sure I understand that. But guys, try to focus the questions more a bit towards Rasmus and the art and things that you want to understand, because I'm here every Sunday. Rasmus cannot be here every Sunday. Are you planning to add more colors to the game? The map seems too dark and not too colorful enough. So Rasmus, that's a question from Esther Lowy.
Yeah, I think, you know, as we spoke about, a lot of it is actually to do with the lighting. So that is one of the things on our list to have a look at. And also have, I mean, the main thing is we're going to have some zones which are going to be quite muted in palette, and then we're going to have some zones which are going to be more kind of luscious and kind of colorful, because I think the main thing we want to give to you guys also is a different experience as you travel into different zones, so you don't feel you're running around the same zone like all the time. So we're going to have some range, but yeah, saturation might be notched a little bit, as we spoke about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so lightning and colors are not final, what you're seeing right now, because this is in development build, guys. It's important for you to understand that. So, hitboxes. How big versus small characters model work for PvP and PvE? Will miss Q shots and AoE, of course. So, this is a little bit more of a technical question that I can answer. So, in general, there is no difference in the hitbox of bigger or smaller character, because it's all the same for the server. Uh, questions. Are goblins playable race? Rasmus?
No,
No.
unfortunately not.
So, can they be in future?
Well, that's I think that's a big question.
Okay. So, an interesting question from YouTube. Will there be weather system? And what is... I would kind of complete the question with... are you a fan of a weather system? And do you believe it helps the mood and the sense of especially a game that has an open world like Scars of Honor?
Yeah, I think, it's an interesting thing to have a weather system. I think in our specific case, it could be interesting, but, we've had to sort of prioritize what we wanted to fix first and where we wanted to spend our time. And I think the main thing for us is to say, well, we need to start with lighting, fogging, and the skybox first, and then see, I'm not against it at all, but it is just a priority question for me. Get the base looking right first, like with the characters and everything else, and then you can kind of build on top of it later.
Okay. So another question for you, and I think you can answer the whole part of it. Are there gonna be mounts in the game? And can you show us some style, like concepts or anything so far about mounts?
Ooh. I think this is one of the things we're talking about at the moment. I think, because of the distances, there will need to be mounts at one point, for sure. But we actually haven't really reworked those into the new style at this point in time. But that is something that we're looking into.
Okay. So, how much players will be able to customize their graphic effects and visual in the client? So this is a little bit more of a technical question. So basically, inside the game, you can do several customizations regarding basically the performance and how you see things. So you can definitely lower or increase the graphical intensity just to match your hardware. A really cool question, by the way, Rasmus. Do you guys plan to introduce colorblind support?
It's actually not on our radar yet, but I think it's something that is potentially needed as an option somewhere, especially going in combat and that, for sure. So it's something we need to talk about.
I think this is important for when we are closer to 1.0.
Yeah, totally.
to definitely be there, because it's just necessity.
Yeah, I think again it's just one of those things where you kind of step the implementation right first. It has to exist, so you have to make the combat work, spells work, VFX work, all that kind of stuff, and then you're like, okay, so now we have to have this review of like how do we need to tune it, basically, right?
Yeah. Okay. Do you believe you can have a close to final product and how the game is gonna look visually by end of the year? Because we see color grading and graphics in general changing a lot now. So how different you see the game compared to now and let's say end of this year?
Yeah. Well, I think for me the biggest changes are going to be that we spoke about. So skybox, lighting, and fogging are going to be the main things that are going to change. When it comes to the character style is not going to change. The armor style is going to remain the same. What we're trying to do now is to populate the world with more stuff, like more different armors, more NPCs to fight, more things to experience, more than sort of heightening it further, because we think we've kind of hit a level where we are good, but it's not going to be sort of AAA Unreal global illumination, skin pore style quality we're going to go for. It's not plausible in either with our tech or with the sort of time available. So like this with polish on, but not into like full on AAA production value. We can't do that.
Okay. So another question. Hey Rasmus, how would you involve the community when deciding and finalize the skybox and lightning? How would you approach that?
I think it would be... I would potentially ask for people's opinion, but I think, again, one of the things is that it is difficult to assess from, for example, a screenshot, right? It's difficult to see when things are static. It's difficult to see when, kind of VFX are not going off. So I think actually primarily we would do that in the studio, and then we would present an option and say, well, this is what we think works the best, and then hear what players say. Because I think it's such a complicated thing actually to balance it out so you get the best possible gameplay. So I don't think it's where I would involve the community the most compared to other things like, designing a weapon or, figuring out some like a new customization piece or stuff like that is probably more where I would want to sort of engage with people.
Okay. So next question. What part of making an NPC monsters is the most fun?
Oh, well, I used to be a character artist ages ago, so I think sculpting it and, texturing it. But now the most fun is just to see it in game and doing the things it's supposed to do. Like the end product, right? It's like you have all these specialists, artists working on each their own thing, and everybody is excited about what they're doing. But for me, it's actually seeing it at the end, and also hearing it with sounds and everything, because then you're like, okay, the plan worked out, it got achieved artistically, it got achieved technically, and now it sort of plays well also, right? So I think for me, again, maybe it's a bit of a politician's answer, but I really just like seeing things in context now, like seeing it right at the end.
So, another very interesting question. Does every item have its own mesh on the character? Can you wear different set of items at the same time?
Oh, so each, for example, the shoulder pauldrons, I think they're actually 2 different meshes. I can't remember how many pieces. I think it's 7 pieces.
It's not more about separating one shoulder or the other. The question is, can you have like boots from one set, a helmet from another, and weapon from third?
Yeah. Well, if you look at my character right now, I'll swap the centerpiece with the sort of simple version, right? So we can swap like that. Also boots, I'm swapping now. So simple, kind of crappy boots, and then you swap to that, right? So you can completely interchange stuff. I even think I can, let me just, I'll try and do this. 1 second.
Okay.
Gloves only, if that's the thing. So everything is completely interchangeable. Also between the class races, class armors. Sorry.
Okay. So, how closely integrated are your concepts artists and narrative designers day to day? Does that affect design? Is that the sort of thing taken into account? Does someone from the narrative discuss a certain NPC or something like that?
I think a lot of things have got a narrative sort of background, but then it's kind of one of those things again where sometimes it takes 2 lines to describe something that's going to take a year to do. So whenever there's a description, if it's lore that's important, we will try and get that lore out through the designs. But sometimes we have to like moderate stuff and sort of take the essence of it, right? Because it's, as I said, it's easy to write 2 lines, which is going to take a very long time to produce. And also narrative, they know everything there is to know about story, but they don't know the technical implications of what they're asking. So that's why we have a whole pipeline of people coming in, talking about this thing, having a kickoff if it's a big boss, for example, saying, well, you can have this, you can't have this.
Yeah, exactly. So if I may give some feedback, is Esther Lowe is saying, obviously this isn't the final version, but please focus on covering the game because it's grey and gloomy. This is just a feedback that I'm reading. So let me continue with more. Would you like to cover a little bit on that, the part where it's grey and gloomy, and how would you already showed previously, but for the new people that have joined recently the stream, that haven't seen your demonstration of before and after, how would you change?
Yeah, I think again I can kind of summarize. So it's we're aware of the problem, and one of the problems is that we our skybox system isn't quite what we want it to be, so our skybox is a little bit kind of dull to look at. Our fog system has got like this grayish or monochromatic color band running across it, which means that everything gets like a little bit flat. So we need better control there. And generally our lighting and post-process just needs more work. So it is something we're aware of. The bloominess, I think is actually more the fog that's being pulled too close. But that is also something we're looking at. So generally lighting, fog and skybox are some of the things that are going to get a lot of attention for the upcoming weeks.
Okay, so is it possible to not show particular gear parts other than helmet? Like, can you not show shoulder pads? So basically why it's not showing currently is because I'm just not having anything equipped. But would you support such system, Rasmus? Would you allow characters to just hide specific parts of the...
You know, I think, yeah, I don't mind that. Well,
Okay.
for me, it's more like, so right now you can see me also just have a helmet on and underwear. I mean, I don't know if that's...
you're going brave.
it's kind of pretty, like,
Okay.
it's a different kind of suit, this guy, right? There's confidence. But I don't mind that. I think, I don't know if the person asking or the viewer asking the question means to hide it but still have whatever stats they might have, or if it's just to hide it, because the system, as you can see, you can equip or not equip as you want to pretty freely. There's no limits on that.
Okay. So, what are the current ideas for paid skins for armor? Some special effects for color scheme, or they will be looks completely different from the normal ones? How different, in your opinion, paid cosmetics will be from the ones that are just regular?
I think that's a very good question, and it's one of the sort of big topics we are talking about at the moment, to see like how far do we want to push things. So it's really an ongoing discussion and a bit of a sort of brainstorm at the moment. Personally, I think I'm fine if you build on top of what is already there. I think VFX could be interesting. I think, you know, like premium materials could be interesting. I think, you know, even just kind of change palettes, but you know, there's a whole heap of different discussions going on about like, are there different tiers of stepping up stuff, or is it like premium and then you're just at the highest thing with all the bells and whistles on it? So we're still trying to define that specifically.
Okay. Hey, Rasmus, as an art director, what are the things that in this project you appreciate and look forward to the most?
The people.
The people.
I appreciate the people a lot on this project. I actually appreciate that we want to try and move things ahead. So, you know, I don't think people give up. So whenever there's a thing like, for example, the lighting and stuff is not so people are just like, you know, saying, oh, well, live with it. We're going to have to just live with it. This is as good as it gets. I really appreciate that people here are trying to push the envelope for what we can do with the team available, with the time available. I really appreciate that. I think that is great. And what I'm looking forward to is actually getting real player feedback on this, because, you know, I don't want to be in an echo chamber and just being like, oh, this is the best thing since, you know, sliced bread. I want people to come in and experience it. I want people's opinions on, you know, oh, is this kid awesome? You know, what do you think about his own? Like, how was it to fight this thing? I think that would just, that is, because that's the real thing, right? For me, It is the non-political, straight talking, what do you like, what don't you like, and then sort of work with that. I'm really looking forward to hearing that and working with whatever comes out of that.
Great. So, will the open world be actually challenging and similar to classic WoW? I think everyone loves challenging mobs, so it's not that of an art question, but I will answer here. We want to make sure that the gameplay is fun. Basically, if you have seen previously on the stream, we've run over a relatively empty area. This is not how it's intended. This is not how it's gonna be. Neither graphics, neither anything that you see currently on the screen is how it's gonna be, even in the upcoming test. So we definitely want to emphasize on things being challenging enough so that you have a sense of accomplishment when you achieve something. So another great question. Current armor shown is amazing, but looks more fitting on the male form. Do you plan on having clothing and armor that fits a female figure better?
Oh, that's also a good question. So we actually have some concepts for that. We need to kind of discuss implications. I think we have some ideas on how we could adjust these to be more feminine. I think it would be interesting, and I think it's also something that players want. We just need to look at how we can potentially make that happen.
Okay. So, will players be able to look at endgame? Oh, wait, the questions are just too fast. Will players be able to look at endgame at launch through cosmetics, or will prestige visuals stay tied to progression? If players can look fully geared at day one, it risks weakening the sense of achievement that makes progression meaningful. I completely understand cosmetics are a major source of revenue, but I'm curious how you are protecting the sense of visual accomplishment that MMOs are built on.
I think that's a super good question. I think it's actually a little bit more of a into Alex on how progression is going to work. I think, personally, I think it could be great if you go out, you kill like some gorgeous, or you get a quest and you get something you can't necessarily buy, because that's street cred kind of thing, right? A lot. But when it comes to overall progression and what's purchasable and what is not, that is definitely like an Alex question.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay, so guys, we are going to do a little bit more of our questions, and then we'll go Rasmus. Let Rasmus go, because 3 hours of stream for his first stream can be a little bit challenging. So let's focus on what you want to ask Rasmus a bit more. And there is one following question. Is there a possibility to allow the community to create armor weapons like we could do in Dota 2? Not for early access or 1.0, maybe in the future.
That's a very good question. I mean, so I can...
I think you're skipping a little bit. We are
At the
probably
tech and art point of view, we can have...
Can you repeat the question?
Okay.
Because I think, the internet kind of broke. So if you can, let's try again.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, I don't know about from a technical standpoint what that would look like, but I think from a purely artistic standpoint, we do have a lot of guides and rules for every single weapon type in the game. So theoretically, and very hypothetically, it could be a thing.
Okay. So, a question. The large pauldrons make the head read a bit smaller, or smaller. What's the intentional stylistic choice, or its unintended result?
Are the shoulder pauldrons?
Yes, they're making the head look a little bit small. Is this intended, or it's just something that happened?
I mean, that is something that happened. I think, for us, we are seeing how big or how small we can scale things. I think I've played other MMOs where heads look smaller because shoulder pads are even bigger. So,
Okay.
for me, I think this is still fine. It doesn't really break a lot. I think the characters still read. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So another question, will every race have straight poles, or they will be a bit different? For example, like curved back or pushed back head.
I'll have a straight what, sorry?
Will every race have a straight pose, or they will be a bit different? For example, like curved back or pushed head.
At the moment, everybody's got a similar pose. But I mentioned that a little bit earlier in the stream. We do have some potential now to do like unique animations for the different races. So there might be some changes to do there where we have like a different pose. But the thing is, if we change our idle pose, so basically the pose where everything starts from, has got a lot of implications on all the other animations that are made for a character. So it could be maybe in an idle breaker where we kind of push it, or it could be somewhere else. So that's something we need to check technically. Yeah.
Great. So one of the last few questions. Is 3D modeling for games hard to learn if I know how to do SolidWorks sketches? Sorry if I ask stupid questions, says Notaja88.
Yeah, I think it is pretty. It is. Well, you can learn anything. I think it's in this case you have to learn sculpting also. I think SolidWorks is more like an architectural thing, if I remember correctly, or like a hard surface thing. So it depends on what you wanna model. Doing characters is a very hard thing because that's got both organic elements and hard surface things, so that can take quite a while to learn. And you probably can't do that within SolidWorks, I guess. But you know, there's free software around like Blender. You know, we use that in some places of production actually for some things. So yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it is not easy.
Okay. So last question. How exotic do you want the paid visuals to be? There are games that start with classical RPG style, but the paid cosmetics go towards cat girls, Ferrari mounts, etc. Really cool question.
Whoa. My God. That is a good question.
Are we doing cat girls and Ferrari mounts in the game?
I think maybe it feels like I don't think our characters should kind of feel like a sort of Formula One car with loads of ads on it and like maybe not too strong IP, but maybe can't ever say no to that. But it would still have to fit into the world in some way, right?
Yeah, Ferrari definitely won't feel in this thematic. It's not medieval thing, so it will basically break immersion and pretty much everything that is doing. And yeah, imagine you're sitting on your horse and somebody stops with a sports car next to you. Like how this thing even fits in the game. So guys, let's thank Rasmus for the amazing time and the amazing showcase that he have provided for us. He have shown a lot of cool things, and I think you've been enjoyed. So Rasmus, would you like to say some parting words for today's stream?
Well, I just well, thank you for letting me join, and I'm just hoping that everybody's excited about the updates that we've shown. I think the team is working super hard to try and make the best possible game they can for all of you. And yeah, we just look forward to be able to show some new updates and hopefully keep you excited about what we're doing. So yeah, I think for me, I think that's it. So
guys, last but not least, let me remind you, if you have not followed my channels, or even worse, if you have not wishlisted Scars of Honor, make sure you do that and do it right now. It is important to understand one thing. Before making a game, we are making a community, and I'm super happy with where we're headed. I'm really glad to see what you guys are already doing for the game. There are a lot of community projects that are built around Scars of Honor, so big kudos to you guys. And of course, I really want to invite you again next Sunday, where we're going to discuss another important topic about Scars of Honor. An important caveat: nothing that you have seen so far is final, or it represents the final game of the final state of the game. So I want to wish you to be healthy, stay healthy, and I want to see you again in the next stream. Thank you so much. Bye. Really cool stuff.
Hark, brave souls, the night grows late. The fire dims, yet dreams await. The tales that told the danger's gone. We all have followed Armegon. The banners fall, the horns grow still. The moon now rises o'er the hill. Scars of honor, battles fought, memories made and lessons taught. Though this night draws to an end, our song lives on, my loyal friends. Fear not the dark nor closing scene, for we shall gather here again.
Follow, follow, follow Armegon. Return again, come everyone. Scars of honor, our legend spun. Come back next week, the tales go on.
Raise your voices, speak once more. Let the chat resound and roar. Share your stories, bring your cheer, for we'll return, the day draws near. 7 nights a fleeting span, we'll meet again as heroes can. The fire waits, the hall shall ring, with songs of battle we shall sing.
Follow, follow, follow Armegon. Return again, come everyone. Scars of honor are legend spun. Come back next week, the tales go on.
Hush now, heroes, rest your heads. Dream of quest and battle spread. Next week's dawn will light the way, and we shall fight another day.
Follow, 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 follow Armegon. Return again, come everyone. Scars of honor are legend spun. Come back next week, the tales go on.
Hark, brave souls, the night grows late. The fire dims, yet dreams await. The tales are told, the danger's gone. We all have followed Armegon. The banners fall, the horns grow